All right, welcome to the War at the Shore, the 2014 APA Local Team Championships. Bergen County and South Jersey battling it out here at Bally's in Atlantic City, New Jersey. This is the third largest tournament in the country with 2,300 qualified players all smashed inside of Bally's Casino, the behemoth that is Atlantic City Bally's. And we're here with Dave, the man that runs the show, and Sean Wilkie. And we want to thank all the sponsors. So Dave's doing a fantastic job. Petrowski and Dan Pittman, as well as Anthony Norducci, all organizing and running this tournament and doing a fine job with their army of staff that are all highly trained and in military precision. This thing has gone off. It's been an excellent event. And thanks for joining us, Dave, taking your time here. I know you're super busy.
Oh, thank you very much for having me, Alvin.
Thank you very much for having me.
It's been an incredible event. This is the first time that two APA leagues from the same state have combined to run an event of this magnitude. So we're very
groundbreaking.
Excited. Yes.
So how did this idea come about? Were you guys in a bowling alley and said, you know what, our team's way better than yours, and I think we're going to crush you? No, my teams are better than yours. Tell us.
No, not
I've been thinking about this. How did this come about?
Not at all. I mean, I played in this league in the APA of South Jersey for 9 years, and the local team championship tournament, which ultimately sends the teams to Las Vegas, was played in a facility that was an indoor tennis court. So when I took over the area, I decided to move the tournament to Atlantic City, and Bally's was very receptive to my negotiations, so we moved it here. Dan Pittman and Anthony Narducci played for me when 2 years ago, and when they took over their area, they came to me and asked if we wanted to give it a try and see if we could pull this event off. And
wow,
after a lot of hard work, we have a staff of 30 people helping us, so it's gone very well with the help of our sponsors. It's been extremely successful.
This thing has blown my mind. This event, I mean, it's been a life-changing experience. I know that sounds corny and probably unbelievable, but it's really changed my mind about what's possible with the amateur pool, and then I can start seeing how that can build level to level, up and up and up. So great job, and you're an excellent individual. I can tell that.
Thank you very much. Thank you. The very kind words. It's nice to hear nice things. We're trying to make the APA a bigger pool league. It's a great product. It's a league that caters to everybody, all levels of pool, regardless of how strong a shooter you are or how weak a shooter you are. There's a place for you in the APA. So we feel like an event like this can reach out to a lot of people and make them understand what a great product the APA is, and maybe they'll want to come join the fun and be part of this event next year. It's only going to get bigger and better.
Oh yeah, if they're not here next year, even the industry people, all the industry people should call you and try to get in here. So, I mean, as many people as can, because this is a great resource. The East Coast pool scene is huge. It's the biggest thing in the country. I've been all over the country. I've seen all the pool everywhere. New Jersey, New York. You guys give everybody else the 7 ball as far as amount of players, and seriously.
Well, you're very correct.
And one of them sitting next to me, Sean Wilkie, one of the top players in the country, and we're honored to have him too. And that's what's good about what you did is get Sean involved. How's it going there, Sean?
Pretty good today. It's been a long day. I'm sure it has been for everybody. I just want to first thank Dave, of course, for his league, and he also does a lot for me here of late in the tournaments, and I'm glad to be a big part of supporting the APA and watching the guys and the teams out here competing. It's very inspiring to know that they're out here trying their best to compete at a level in order to get to Vegas. It's just awesome.
Thanks, Sean. We love having you. It's an honor to have the 16th ranked player in the world at my events. So the players love you. You're very, very gracious to the players. I've even seen you instructing players, which is great. And I'm glad you could join us here for this 8-ball final. We have 8 8-ball finals going on right now, and this is one of them. The 2 teams competing here. The winner will go to Las Vegas to compete in the APA National Team Championships. Right now, this is table 43, and Tuesday Terrorizers, which is a team out of a bar in Pemberton, New Jersey, playing against the Leftovers. They play out of a bar called Valari's in Franklinville, New Jersey. The the lady shooting right now, her name, she's Antoinette Avizano, skill level 3, and she's playing against Steven Yakura from the Leftovers. He's a skill level 4. This is the second game, I believe, in the match. Right now, Steve Yakura is winning the match so far. I'm sorry, I was mistaken. I have to correct myself there. This is the third game. Steve Yakura is presently up 2-0 over Antoinette Avizano. Skill level 4 versus skill level 3. Steve Yakura needs 3 wins before Antoinette Avizano reaches 2 victories. That's how the APA handicaps play to make it possible for everybody to compete. You don't give balls during the rack, you give games of weight. So Steve Yakura, since he's 1 skill level higher than Antoinette, he has to win 3 before she wins 2. I feel bad for the players because the finals are so stressful. When I played in the league, you know, it was very nerve-wracking to play in the final. The adrenaline can get the best of you.
Absolutely, and you have several sponsors that sponsored this event. Would you like to name those people off that helped make this while you're here with us?
Oh, definitely. The sponsors have been great. This table right now is sponsored by QPod. QPod, I don't know if people know what they do. They sell chalk holders. They're like designer chalk holders, very high-end, add a little class to the game. So QPod sponsors this table, and I'm sure you guys can see the decals on the pool table, the diamond pool table that is used for this match. The S2L is a sponsor called Sentence to Life. It's an inspirational website, sentencetolife.com. They help like war veterans, people that have had terrible injuries in battle. They've lost both legs in combat, and they take part in 30-mile races with cinder blocks wrapped around their waist by a chain, and they drag them for like 30 miles. Sentence to Life sponsors these types of events. And also Holiday Tours is a sponsor for this event, which is a different way to tour the world. The owner of that company, Ali Greib, will take you to Germany, and instead of taking you on the normal touristy path, he will actually take you into the backwoods parts of the cities. You'll stay at like a cousin's house and see parts of Germany that you wouldn't be able to see on a normal tourist trip. Other sponsors at this event, Jacoby Custom Cues. Jacoby's known worldwide for making their beautiful custom cues. They were here. Joe Young, who owns Mighty Custom Cues, was also here. Focused Apparel was a sponsor. Creative Photography out of Hamilton Township, New Jersey. Without these sponsors, you know, it would be very difficult for us to pull off this event, almost impossible. So I'm very grateful to the sponsors, not just Sentence to Life and Holiday Tours, but all the sponsors have been really helpful, but none more so than Sentence to Life and Holiday Tours.
All right, that's awesome. So we're going to get in the groove here, the APA groove. And what I really like, and Sean, it's different than what like Sean plays. Sean's sitting here watching, analyzing what's going on. He plays at a pro level. These are amateurs. It's 2 different worlds, but combining those worlds by having Sean here and Earl Strickland, 2 pros, that's so key because a lot of these people don't even know about the pro level of pool at all. And it's good that you're here, Sean. You're not even playing or anything. You're just here, FaceTime, supporting Dave, supporting Megan, supporting this tournament.
Oh, absolutely. Like I said a minute ago, I appreciate being here with the players. Like you're saying, even though it's a different level, I was there before. I was
Sure.
a teenager.
Me too.
I was 21. I used to play APA. It was great. I played with my granddad. We're out there as a team. Of course, we're all trying to win, but we're having a good time. And that's what it is here. And like Dave said, yeah, we're in the final match. There's going to be added pressure because they're trying for a trip, and that's something that they're here. That's their goal. So when they get it, they can be relieved. But for now, they're going to stay in the focus of the game. And as Dave said, we got a skill level 4 and a skill level 3 here. So it's going to come down to a couple safety battles. And
that's where it starts.
That's where it starts.
Steven Yakura just played a very nice safe there. Antoinette Avizano has low ball in this set. And this is a tough spot for her because she's already feeling the pressure before the match starts. Steven Yakura opens up, winning the first 2 games. So now he's on the hill. He only needs 1 more win. So Antoinette knows she's got to come with something, and she's made a few balls on her first few shots of this rack, but now she only has 3 low balls left, and Steven's able to use all of the traffic from all of his high balls on the table to make life very difficult for Antoinette, and that's what you're seeing right now.
She actually played a real good shot there. You see she got her 3-up table in the middle where it's open now, and he left him tricky. You know, his high balls were over here on the rail, I believe, in the corner, and she played it well to leave him near the 2-ball, because now I don't believe he can make an open shot.
We should probably explain to the viewers the different colors of the Cyclops balls that Diamond Pool Tables uses.
Yeah, that's been fairly new.
Yeah, on TV, people might be it might be a little odd to see the 6-ball, that lime-colored green. The 6-ball is right next to the 8-ball on the table right now, and normally you'd be looking for a dark green on the 6, but with the Cyclops set, the light green really stands out. It's unique, but it's an adjustment for the viewers and the players.
Of course, and then you got the 7-ball and the 15-ball, which are normally maroon color, but they're all light blue.
Exactly. I'm not sure what Antoinette was trying to do there. I think she was trying to block the pocket so Steve would not be able to make a combination on the 2 high balls in front of the corner pocket, but she overhit a little bit and rolled the 3-up table, so things haven't improved very much for Antoinette.
He might be trying to combo here. I don't see anything wrong with that. If you can just roll the ball up table, you probably won't leave a shot for Antoinette.
Oh, a tough scratch for Steve. These are both longtime members. Antoinette Avezzano has been playing for a while. Steven Yakura has been playing for about 8 years. So, but you'd be surprised all the years that these 2 players have been participating in the APA. This is the first time for both of these players in the finals of the local team championship. So I'm sure they're feeling the adrenaline right now, to say the least.
Well, that's awesome. You know, that kind of reminds me of my journey. You know, when I was younger, I didn't know I was going to take it to the pro level. You know, I just enjoyed the game, and I'm sure they're having those kind of mixed emotions right now. You know, they've always played, like you're saying, the last 7 or 8 years, and hoping to get there. Now they're there, so they got to keep their mind into it and play the correct shots, and the best player or best thinker, as you were saying, in the end is going to win.
Yeah, this rack's probably definitely going to come down to more strategy than ball-making skills.
Well, I know that scratch changed this whole game plan here. Got her an opportunity to make the 3. She'll be able to roll the 2 in, and if that's the 6-ball on top of the 8, she can either play it in the corner or maybe in the side pocket.
I'm sure the viewers can hear the cheers from other tables in the background. They are not the teammates in this particular match. There are other finals going on, so when you hear cheers in the background without seeing a shot pocketed in this match, you know, that's the nature of those cheers. It's celebrations from surrounding tables. I think Antoinette's going to call a timeout here. This is another great part about the APA. You're allowed to call 1 coach per rack for each player, so once Antoinette gets into a tight spot, and because she's a relatively lower skilled player, skill level 3, she can call coach and have one of her higher skilled teammates. Right now she called Frank Avezzano, who's a skill level 5. She can take advice now from the skill level 5 and hopefully be able to come with a shot here that helps her take control of the rack.
Yeah, the coach is just trying to calm her down also, which is a good thing. And from what I see, he mentioned she'll be able to shoot the 6 and just roll forward maybe 2 or 3 ball lengths and probably have the 8 on the opposite side.
Well, she hit that pretty nice.
Good shot.
She might have rolled a little bit too far, but still, she left herself a very makeable 8-ball in the side pocket. She has to mark her pocket in the APA. The only ball you have to mark is the 8-ball, so if you notice there, the viewers may have noticed she placed something by the side pocket. That was the pocket marker. Well, she makes a very nice shot. And now here's how quickly the match changes. Steve Yakura opens up by winning the first 2 games of the set. Antoinette's feeling the pressure, but now thanks to that coach from her higher skilled teammate, she's able to pull out this game, and just like that, Antoinette has 1 win. She only needs 1 more. She's on the hill. Steve Yakura's got 2, just that quickly from 1 coach and a few good shots, the whole match turns, and now it's hill.
Yeah, I was talking to a couple team members earlier in the event that that one game sometimes means a lot in the match because of the scoring system, Dave. And how does that go?
The 3-point scoring system that the APA uses now. If you play an 8-ball match and you shut your opponent out, like let's just say Stephen Yakura, for example, had finished this match off and won 3 games to none, he would get 3 points for his team, and Antoinette would receive 0 points for her team. Now that the match has gone to the hill, regardless of who wins, the winner will gain 2 points for their team. The loser will still gain 1 point for their team. So the 3-point scoring system really changes things considerably.
That could change the way you want to play your players in the beginning also. You know,
Exactly.
If you're playing a 3 and you believe you got a 6 or 7, that could easily whitewash the other player and get you those 3 points right away. Maybe you do that, or maybe you don't.
Exactly.
Who your captain is.
Yeah, different strategies for different matches. I've seen captains go for the 3-0 with the strong player, and I've also seen captains play a lower skilled player against a higher skill, even though they know the lower skill can't win, but they know all they need is 1 rack to get 1 point for the team. You stop the other guy from getting 3, and you gain 1.
Of course.
So it's very interesting strategies in the 3-point scoring system.
Looks like he ended up taking stripes this game, and
Yes.
a lot of them are open, but it looks like the 9-ball, that's the 1-ball by the 8, so the 9-ball is open also.
Yeah, the 1-ball's laying against the 8.
The only problem, I guess, for him would be the 8-ball now. If he can get this stripe, come over, get the 11. The 9-ball is going to be a little tricky.
Yeah, the bright side for both of these players is the 8-ball's not good for anybody involved.
Right. That's always a good feeling because there's no possibility of the other player running out percentage-wise. I mean, of course, they can make a good shot, but in the back of your mind, you're like, all right, I'll get back to the table, and when I do, I'm going to have a plan.
Exactly. I'm kind of excited for Antoinette Avezzano. When she arrived at the tournament, she was really excited how she had purchased her cue stick brand new from the Mueller catalog.
Thanks to Mueller, they made
So she,
extreme possible.
exactly. So I mean, I've heard of people ordering from Mueller on their website online. I've also heard of people ordering direct from the catalog, also from vendors that sell Mueller products. But the funny part of the story is that she had been struggling for weeks leading up to this event. And when I saw her on Friday, she said she was really excited how much she liked her new cue stick, and she was hoping she'd shoot better and her team would do well in this tournament. And lo and behold, 3 days later, here we are watching her play in the finals.
It's a great story.
She's a really nice. Actually, both of these players are really nice. I've known Steven for a while. But for some reason, I don't know, the viewers probably feel the same way I do. You end up rooting for the underdog in these situations. I'm not sure why. If you have no rooting interest going in, you end up rooting for the underdog.
I understand you there. As long as it's not your favorite team like in sports, you know, we always like to root for the underdog.
So I root for the underdog all the time because I'm a Philadelphia sports fan. So I'm always rooting for the underdog. I think he was trying to come off the short rail and get up the table off the side rail there, and I think he underhit a little bit.
Right.
I'm not sure he's happy with this position.
Commentate on this because there's a delay. There's like a 10-second delay. So you see, oh, he made the 8-ball.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think we saw the result of that previous shot there, and since Steve didn't get far enough out in the center of the table, he ended up trying to take that tough cut, and you know, we see the result didn't work out too well for Steve.
That's a good shot there. Go 2 rails back out to the middle of the table.
Yeah, she hit that pretty nice. Now she's got that odd-colored 6-ball in the corner
Being a
pocket.
left-hand player, that would have been a tough shot for her if she kept the cue ball on the side rail. She should have the 5 now. It's going to get a little tricky after that. She can come up and maybe get the 3 on the side. Naturally come off the bottom rail.
This is a long shot for her, especially in this situation. Oh, she hit that nice.
Looks like she might have got a friendly bump. If the 4-ball goes past the 3 up in the corner, she's got a chance to stay at the table here.
I'm surprised her coach didn't call timeout there. Usually when you see a lower skilled player thinking this much and chalking at this point in a rack, you know, you would expect them to call coach there. I'm a little surprised we didn't see one. That was a tough shot. Either way, that was a tough shot for her, with or without a coach.
Right. Plus, in the back of her mind, she might have been thinking about the tie up on the 8-ball, getting the cue ball in a certain spot. You know, that's always a little tricky.
See, now we're getting late in the rack here, and I think Steve understands, both players understand the gravity of the situation, and that's why you see the timeout here from Steve after that shot. He understands he's got to make something happen here. I'm not sure if they're going to try and play safe. I can't tell what the coach is saying, but now he's telling them to try and pocket the 9-ball in the corner pocket with a little high right English and come around off the short rail and the side rail and get back out for the 10. I guess they're not as concerned about the 8 as we are, Sean.
Well, I don't know. It looks like from how they're looking at it, it might go. I mean, obviously it looks like it's frozen on the 7-ball and the 1 to us, but maybe if you're over there by the side pocket where they're pointing, the 8-ball could be clean in the hole.
Yeah, it's difficult to tell from this angle. The way the coach gave it the instructions, he didn't seem too concerned about the position of the 8, so maybe it does go relatively easily.
Well, that makes this shot on the 9 key, because if he can get up to the 10, he has the opportunity to get out this rack.
As a former APA player, I can tell you in these positions, nothing goes easily. I've had the nerves get to me to the point where I miss ball in hand.
Absolutely. Good shot, but he bumped the balls.
Yeah, it was an unfortunate kiss.
Well, like we said, he needed a little bit of right-hand English, which would have helped that shot.
It's a difficult shot for a skill level 4, though. Most skill level 4s aren't very strong at using right or left-hand English, so the coach might instruct him as much as he can in that position, but you can't teach the player how to actually hit the ball. So it's just something that comes with time and practice, and some people end up like you, Sean, where they end up on the pro circuit one day, and other people just enjoy playing amateur pool their entire career and just loving it and having fun. That's what makes pool such a great game.
Yes, it's definitely there for every level of player, and you're correct about that.
This might be a position where they definitely want to call a timeout, ball in hand at this point in the rack. If they can give her a solid coach on what to do with the 4-ball at the top left-hand corner pocket. The 10-ball is definitely blocking the 4-ball from going in the corner pocket, but I think she's hesitant to start the ball in hand shot off with the 4-ball because the 1, the 2, and the 3 aren't easily pocketed for a skill level 3. A player of your caliber, Sean, this would be a pretty simple out, but for an APA player, this is an extremely challenging spot.
Well, as long as the 1-ball goes, it would be pretty simple for a player at my level, but like you're saying, I've noticed in these league players, the strategy is to leave the 4 there, and if you can leave the cue anywhere on this side of the table, the guy can't make the 10. So in the end, that might come back to help you.
Well, I hope it works out for her, but on ball in hand, choosing one of the easiest balls on the table, it's probably not the greatest strategy, but I understand she's feeling her nerves, and I guess her coach wants to save the timeout for later in the rack, so they're just going to let her go with it.
It also could build her a little confidence to make a couple balls in a row.
I think I've seen you dog a shot in this spot, Sean.
Well, I wouldn't say it's been
just
recently.
Just want to let the viewers know I thought the situation needed a little levity.
But it has happened.
She actually played a pretty nice save there. You know, this will be a pretty challenging 10-ball shot for Steve Yakura, especially in this spot. The viewers can bear with us while we do a little camera adjustment. We wanted to make sure we had the Q-pod symbols in the shot. We tried to zoom in to make it easier for the viewers to view the action, but we also wanted everybody to see one of the beautiful sponsors for this tournament, the standees they bought for this table. Q-Pod's been very supportive of the APA of South Jersey. That's a heck of a shot by Steve Yakura, especially in this spot.
Yeah, the 10 ball wasn't hanging completely, so he actually had to thin it enough in order to make it. He shot a real well shot there. Good speed, too. The cue ball didn't come down too far. He has a shot on 8.
You can tell by his body language he's feeling pretty good about himself after pocketing that one, and I don't blame him.
Well, this is the case 8 ball, too, here, right? If I'm correct?
That's a pretty easy 8 ball, and this is the 8 ball for the match. This would put the leftovers from Franklinville, New Jersey, up 2-1 after the first match. And there it is.
Good
Steve
shot.
Yakura, match victory and the handshake. The leftovers from Franklinville, New Jersey lead 2-1 over Tuesday Terrorizers from Pemberton. A little Steve Yakura victory dance there for the crowd. Didn't make it on the camera, but trust us, it was impressive.
I think he was joking. He said, "Am I too short for the camera?" You know, maybe slightly, but he can handle it.
Now the teams get 2 minutes. There's a coin flip at the start of the match, and one of the teams has to declare a shooter, and the other team has 2 minutes to match. So unfortunately, I did miss who had the first declaration for the opening match. So one of these teams is going to have to declare a shooter within 2 minutes, and the other team is going to have 2 minutes to decide who they're going to match against that shooter. And then the 2 players will lag for the break, and we'll get the second match underway in just a second.
Well, you did say the leftovers won the first match?
Yes, the leftovers are going to be up 2-1.
Okay.
Judging from how quickly the leftover shooters at the table, I would have to assume, Sean, that the leftovers had to put up in the second match, and they've declared their shooter.
Well, I know they're up by 1, but I was like to mention, if you read the girl's shirt that's on the stream that just played, it says it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And that's actually from Get Focused Apparel. So maybe her team can take this first match loss and step it up these next couple and get right back in it.
Well, the leftovers from Franklinville, New Jersey, ahead 2-1, have declared Ray Racino, another skill level 4, to shoot in the second match, and it looks to me like Tuesday Terrorizers from Pemberton, New Jersey are going to match him with Frank Avizano Sr. Frank Sr. is also a skill level 4 and a quite strong one, so this should be a really good match. Good strategy by Tuesday Terrorizers here, matching one of their strongest shooters, knowing that even though they're only down 2-1, it's important to get back in this match quick. The players lag for the break, and Frank Avizano Sr. has won the lag, so he will be breaking here in match number 2.
So if you had to pick here, Dave, who's the favorite with these 2 players on the table?
Well, due to the equalizer system in the APA, I mean, it really evens things out for everybody. But if you ask me to put a wager on this match, I would have to go with Frank Avizano Sr. Frank's tournament tested. He's been in a lot of big matches in his career, so I like Frank.
Well, I like your choice. You always like to go with experience, and we'll see what happens.
Little laughter here in the background. We've had some guests join us in the booth, and they're doing their best to distract us, but we're going to try and hold it together here for you as Frank Avizano Sr. pockets a ball off the break.
Looks like he's got a good spread of the balls here, too.
He's pocketed 2 low balls on the break, and in the APA, you are forced to choose the side that you have pocketed off the break in 8-ball. That's something you're not accustomed to, Sean. As a professional pool player, you get to choose off the break, regardless of what side is pocketed. In the APA, you have to take the side that's pocketed, so Frank Avizano Sr. is going to shoot low ball in this rack.
I actually do like that rule, though. Even though pro tournaments are choose off the break, I truly don't believe in that. 8-ball is call shot, so if you make a stripe on the break, I think you should do that. Unfortunately, we play different rules at certain events, but I do believe that it should be what you make on a break. Obviously, if you make a stripe and then a solid, and then you can choose. But if you only make a solid, what gives you a right to shoot a straight? Unless the rules are applied to that.
Yeah, I agree. A lot of the rules in the APA are meant to keep things even for all levels of play, and not letting people choose off the break is one of those rules. It gives the lower skilled player a better chance in the match against the higher skilled player.
Of course. So and I truly believe it's the correct rule.
I'll tell you what, for Frank Avizano Sr., maybe feeling the heat, he sure came out firing in this rack. He looks pretty good.
Yeah, he did. He almost had a chance to run out from what you saw, but he hit that ball down in the corner a little bit too hard and probably affected his aim a little bit. Could be, got a little antsy, maybe trying to get out the gate 1-0 fast.
And who could blame him in a match of this magnitude?
He's going to kick at the 2 here. Just try to make a good hit. And
that's got to result in ball in hand there, Sean, in the APA after the cue ball strikes the object ball. Some ball must hit a rail. It doesn't matter which ball hits a rail, but a ball must hit a rail. So Frank Avizano Sr., unfortunately, with that shot, is going to give Ray Racino a ball in hand.
This guy seems really calm when he shoots.
Yeah, he hit that almost without a thought. Oh, he tried to go for a 2-for there. He's really trying to expedite this rack by making 2 balls at a time. That's pretty impressive stuff there, Sean.
Right. He just gets down there and he fires away, which is good. If you can keep a great rhythm in the game and have a certain understanding about the shots, it's actually hard to get yourself nervous.
Usually the first couple shots of your first rack in a big tournament match are pretty nerve-wracking, but after you pocket a few balls, it's amazing how quickly you calm down.
Of course.
20 minutes and it's fine.
We're going to try and set up a remote mic so we might get a chance to speak with the winner of the first match. Steve Ukura is probably feeling pretty good about himself. Might want to say a few words or see if we can get that going for the viewers. Looks like Bob Mullane's going to call a timeout here.
Yeah, the other player missed the 3-ball, but it came up top of the table and left.
See, I think the mistake that's being made here is when your opponent calls timeout in the APA, you can also speak to your players. So considering the situation that Tuesday Terrorizers is trailing in this match, I would think that someone from Tuesday Terrorizers roster would go over and speak to Frank Sr. He's rocking back and forth, might be looking a little tight. Go over and tell him a joke or something.
Yeah. Lighten the load for a minute.
Exactly.
When he gets back to the table, he'll be ready.
Our sideline reporter is trying to get Steve Ukura's attention.
Well, the
might
coach
be able to
didn't
have
work
Steve
out.
Ukura join us here and say a few words, tell you how he feels about his victory. Oh, so we're going to have the winner of the first match, Steve Ukura from the Leftovers of Franklinville, New Jersey. You must be feeling pretty good about yourself, Steve, winning a big match for your team.
Yes, I am. I'm feeling good. I felt good, a little scared, but it was all good.
Were you nervous the whole way, or is it just the first few shots? Did you loosen up as the match went on, or
yes, definitely.
did you start feeling it again when Antoinette won that game and made it to the hill?
Yes.
Yeah, I've been there. The nerves the rubber band starts to tighten in that spot.
I was very nervous.
I'll tell you what, though, you shot real well, Steve. You pulled it out.
Yeah, she left me rough a few times, but just poked and hoped.
We were worried about you when she left you on the short rail down here at the bottom of the table. That 10 ball was a tough cut in the corner. You didn't see all the ball. You had to come off the side rail first. Were you nervous about that shot?
I was very nervous. I wasn't sure whether to hit it straight on, play safety, or just I tried a two-way shot, hit off the rail, and got lucky, and it just rolled my way.
Oh, can you explain the two-way shot to the viewers? I assume you're talking about you tried to play the 10 ball, and if you didn't pocket the 10 ball, you hit the cue ball in a manner where she wouldn't have a good shot afterwards.
Yeah, I figure even just for safety purpose, if you didn't make it, had that pocket blocked. If I made it, it rolled out for the 8, and that was the game.
Not a bad strategy. You hit it so well, I was going to yell out, "Who plays that good?" But I didn't want to say that. I'm supposed to be impartial over here. Well, thanks for joining us, Steve.
Hey, it's been a lot of fun. It's a great pleasure playing here. I have a ball.
Thank you very much. Well, hopefully we'll be talking to you again after a team victory, maybe, and a free trip to Vegas to shoot in the national tournament.
Oh, Vegas sounds good to me.
Yeah,
I need a vacation.
Thanks for joining us, Steve.
Thanks a lot, Dave.
What did I miss, Sean, during that interview? Did I see Ray Racino win the first rack?
Yeah, I do believe. No, actually, Frank won.
Oh, Frank I'm sorry. I have to correct myself again. Frank Avizano Sr. wins the first rack. 2 skill level 4s playing in this match, so it is a race to 3 wins for this set. So Frank Avizano is up 1-0 here in the second match.
Yeah, he just broke the balls and scratched into the corner pocket, so his opponent's sitting here pondering which balls he wants to take.
Normally, after a scratch in the APA, you would have ball in hand anywhere on the table, but off the break, you only have ball in hand behind the head string. So Ray Racino is going to have to figure out what. I think that's the problem here. He doesn't have a good shot from behind the head string, and that's unfortunate for ball in hand.
Yeah, when you have limited options, you got to take a little bit more time just to make sure you get yourself into a position that you're comfortable with, because the start of the rack obviously is going to help your end patterns, and it can hurt your opponent depending on which balls you choose.
Do you have a certain set strategy in your mind, Sean, when you have a ball in hand in this situation? Do you try and take the most difficult ball on the table, or do you take the easiest ball? What's the thought process behind that?
Well, of course, like at my level, after all the knowledge I've learned, if you do have a trouble ball, you want to try to get that out as early as possible. But obviously, if the balls are open, you just go with your comfort zone. Pick an angle that you like to start with, and then after that, you just continue your plan through the 8-ball rack, which most of the time it's not like 9-ball. You don't have to shoot a certain ball every time. Halfway through the rack, you might change and shoot another ball and create an angle, and that all comes down to preference. Your style, your speed, and where the balls lay. So that's what's great about the game. It's never the same, and you always have to create.
While you were going through that ball in hand strategy, Sean, Frank Avizano Sr. made a couple nice shots. A tough cut on the 4-ball in the corner, and how about that cut in the side?
Yeah, it was nice.
And for a guy who might be feeling the pressure a little bit in this spot, Frank's shooting pretty footloose and fancy free here. He's really getting around the table nice. And
yeah, like I was saying earlier, I do like his rhythm, because I like to say, if you think long, you're thinking wrong. So he's getting down there, staying in a good steady pace, and he's trusting his stroke, and he's going with it. Wow, and he's stroking the ball in. Look at it.
Yeah, that's a heck of a shot. I'm sure he's not really excited about the position he has on the 8-ball here, but boy, he hit that 6-ball in the corner pocket like it was a hanger.
He did. He went a little long, like you said. He's gonna have to kick at the 8. Now his main goal here is obviously to hit it, but you also don't want to kick and scratch, because I do believe you lose the game if you do that.
That is correct, Sean. If you scratch on the 8-ball, you do lose the game. His coach is probably a little frustrated that he waited until this point to call his timeout. Sometimes you try and educate your players in the APA. Don't call the timeout when you're in trouble. They prefer to call the timeout a couple of balls before you get in trouble. So unfortunately, this is a coach where he's just going to try and get a good hit here on the 8, and like you said, not scratch and lose the game automatically.
Yeah, because that would really hurt after being a huge advantage throughout this run out to just give it away.
Yeah, he's already up 1-0 in this set, so if he was able to finish off this rack and take a 2-0 lead, if he wins the third game, that's a 3-point victory for his team in the 3-point scoring system, and that would turn a 2-1 deficit into a quick 4-2 lead for Tuesday Terrorizers. So You know, he did a good job there with the ball speed. It ended up being a ball in hand because the cue ball nor the 8-ball hit a rail after contact. But I give him credit for, in this situation, using very safe ball speed there. So he really didn't risk a scratch in that spot. And Ray Racino just jumps up to the table and he starts firing, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think he probably should have started with the ball on the top rail. That's his trouble ball, as I talked earlier.
I agree.
But he also, since the 8's here, if he wanted to leave the cue ball up table later in the rack to the right, it's pretty safe if you can leave it behind the 9. We'll see what he does. Is he going to go for the cut?
Yeah, he played the shot.
He went for the cut, and he's going to leave it down here with the opportunity to cut the 8-ball in. Not easy. But if he would have left it up table, he could have had maybe a better chance to maybe get another ball in hand and then start from the top of the table.
I agree 100%. I don't think I would have played that shot there, but I understand in his position, he walked up to the table and made the first few balls relatively easy. Maybe he was feeling confident.
Right.
You know, it's tough to rethink what you have done in the rack.
Watch out, cue ball.
Oh,
no.
Frank Avizano Sr. scratches while trying to pocket the 8-ball. That's an automatic win for this rack, for the leftovers. And just like that, instead of being ahead 2-0, now we're tied 1-1, and Frank Avizano Sr. has a battle on his hands.
See, now that changes the momentum a little bit in both players' minds. One player thought he was going to make the 8 and be up 2 games, but now it's 1-1, and this game's going to change it. See who can grab the momentum and get game 3.
This is a big game right here. In 2 skill level 4s in a race to 3. Now that it's tied 1-1. The guy that wins this game thoroughly takes control of the set. He's on the hill. The person who's trailing 2-1 has a tendency to get very tight and very nervous in this spot, especially in a match where you're playing for the championship and the trip to Las Vegas. So
that's understandable.
Whoever wins this game is most likely going to gain thorough control of the set.
Well, let's see if he chooses to do the second ball break, which is normal in the 8-ball game.
Dave is really live, man. We're going to hire him to do our commentary. I mean, this guy is good. Sean, you're awesome, too. You got in on the 200 world record run, so you're the lucky guy, too. So good job, guys.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
A little dry break there for Ray Racino. I'll tell you what, these two guys, as soon as their opponent misses, they can't wait to get to the table and start firing balls in the pocket.
I'm telling you. It's like they already know the plan before they get there walking. Well, he almost scratched there, but I don't believe he's going to have anything easy from here, unless he can see the 1. I guess he could.
Yeah, it's hard to tell from this angle. I agree with you. I thought the cue ball was corner hooked in the corner pocket.
He's lining up now to shoot a long table 2 ball. I had a feeling that was going to be tough. That's one of the toughest shots in pool. If you're long and straight in, the variable of missing is very slim because you got to hit it directly on. You know, if you're off to the right a little bit or left, the ball's not going to go. If you're off a little bit of speed, same thing. You know, so you got to be really focused on shots of that nature.
I don't like what I'm seeing here from Frank Avizano Sr. He looked very strong in the first rack, and since he scratched on that 8-ball, it seems like his confidence is really rattled.
Yeah.
I think somebody from the roster of Tuesday Terrorizers might want to take an early timeout in this rack just to speak to Frank and try and calm him down. He's a few shots away from this really getting away from him.
Absolutely.
Lucky break there for Ray Racino. It looked like that cue ball was going to scratch in the corner pocket.
It looks like he made the 12. It looks like he's now going to be tied up on the 10 ball.
Yeah, he definitely wanted to come out into the center of the table and have his choice between the 10 ball on the side. Unfortunately, he left himself in a really tough spot, so I'm not sure.
He might have to, I'm not sure of his opportunities. I don't even know if he can play for a shot here, unless he was to kick off the rail and maybe try to play the 10 past the 8, or kick and play the 10, the other stripe in the side. He just chose to hit it down and open them up some.
He definitely chose a a grip and rip approach there, I think. There's a good side to that, though. The grip and rip approach, it might not be the soundest tactical strategy, but it definitely shows that he's not really feeling too much of the pressure at this moment. So it's not bad to have a loose player on the table. He most likely won't get tight on a big shot later in the rack. So there is a positive aspect to that shot.
I can't tell, but I don't believe this is his last ball. Looks like the other solid is tied up down here on the bottom rail with a stripe. I believe it might be the 4-ball or 2-ball.
Yeah, it looks to me from this angle, Sean, that is the 2-ball. 2-ball tied up on the short rail with the 13-ball, just above the Holiday Tour sign.
Yep. So this is going to be some strategy involved here for the rest of this rack.
He's got a decision to make here if he wants to try and pocket the 10-ball or break out his 13-ball or play safe, and he played the shot.
Yeah, well, he left it in a good area.
There's not much Frank Avizano Sr. can do here. Even if he tries to pocket the 5-ball in the side pocket, it's going to be very challenging for him to come down table and either break out the 2 or leave himself a shot on the 2. He chose to cinch the 5-ball on the side and maybe play safe here on the 2.
Oh.
And he decided to play safe. Not a bad shot. It's going to buy him some time.
He kept him tied up. Yep. Had a feeling we're going to go down to a safety battle in this game.
Yes, I do. I think we're going to see some saves here.
He can actually leave him tied up. He won't be able to see any ball if he hits this good. If he would have hit it fuller, he could have left him right behind the 2-ball and broke out the other stripe.
That would be a really challenging shot for a skill level 4, especially in this spot. But I agree with you, Sean. From a standard pool strategy, you are 100% correct.
Right. He's got to do the same thing. Just nip it, leave it on this side. Don't break him up that much. Good shot. That's what I was just talking about a minute ago.
He actually played that shot, and he played it really well. Very impressive shot from Frank Avizano Sr.
We can go one rail here and try to kick in his stripe that's down by the corner. Or you can just maybe nudge the 2 back up on the 13 and give him ball in hand.
Not a bad idea. I don't remember if Ray Racino has used his coach this rack. Oh, never mind.
Here he comes.
He has not used his coach. Bob Mullane steps in, and once again, no one from Tuesday Terrorizers is talking. Wait, they call him over now. See, I would have had a longer conversation with Frank. He definitely seems a little tight to me. I definitely would have spoke to him and tried to calm him down.
You don't know if Frank might be the coach for the team, so maybe he's in control of that?
That's a good point, Sean. I'm not sure if he is the coach. During the first rack, I noticed that Frank Avizano Sr.'s son, Frank Avizano Jr., did the coaching, so that would lead me to believe that maybe Frank Avizano Jr. is the coach for the team. So.
Well, he got ball in hand, of course. We're going to find out if he's got enough room to get the cue ball in there between the stripe and the solid to get the 2-ball in the corner.
I definitely think we're going to see another save here, Sean.
He's trying to get it in there. He's got an angle. There it is. And he got a good roll to get over off of the 13.
I'm not sure about that shot. I didn't think he had enough angle.
Well, that's why I gave the option. I didn't know, but I figured it's a possibility if he could get it in there.
He definitely played it like he was very sure about it, and you cannot argue with his results. He has a very nice, very makeable shot on the 8 to take control of this set.
Oh,
that's a tough miss. Tough miss for Frank. And once again, I think that what you're seeing there between his body language and the way he played that shot, we're definitely looking at a player whose confidence is shaken. I definitely don't agree with Tuesday Terrorizers not speaking to him during the timeout.
Is he going to play the combo or the ball straight in? I knew it was tight.
I give this guy Ray Racino a great deal of credit. This is a pretty big spot, and he does not seem phased at all, just walks up to the table and takes his shot.
You gotta watch out for the cue ball going cross corner if you hit it too hard. Watch out, cue ball.
Oh dear. That's a lucky break there. You were right, Sean. 100% you were right.
Yeah, those are tricky shots because when you're jacked up over top of a ball,
I'm going to blame it on the fungus when we get back on.
No, you're on. It's just a little spotty. Yeah, and we're recording.
oh wow, he missed the whole ball.
He missed the whole ball there. I understand we're having some technical difficulties. There are storms in the area, and I believe they are wreaking havoc with the internet connection. So I apologize to the viewers. Those of you that have tuned in to watch this match, please accept our apologies. We're doing the best we can, but we do not have control over the weather.
Man, Dave is live, baby, live. I'll tell you, he is perfect.
That was Frank that won the
That's
third
a
game.
big win for Frank Avizano Sr. there. So now on 2 skill level 4s playing a race to 3. Frank is ahead 2-1, and if he can win this game, this may have been something I left out earlier about the 3-point scoring system. If you win the match without shutting out your opponent, but also without your opponent making it to the hill, it's a 2-0 match victory. So considering Frank's team is trailing 2-1, if he can close this set out here and win 3 games to 1, it would be a 2-0 point split for his team, and that would turn a 2-1 deficit for the team into a 3-2 lead for his team. So this is a big game for Frank Avizano Sr. and his team, the Tuesday Terrorizers.
He made a ball on the break, and he's got an opportunity here. Chooses to take low balls, made the 1. He was probably trying to get on a 3, but he got tied up behind the 11, it looks like.
It's a pretty ugly situation down by the 8 balls. I'm not sure what he's definitely hooked by the 11, cannot see the 3.
Well, good try. Try to cut the 5 ball back in the corner.
That was a nice try. It's hard to explain to APA players sometimes that if you cannot get out from there, do not lose from there. I'm sure that's a theory you live by, Sean, huh?
Oh, absolutely. You know, sometimes you got to tie balls back up and just make it as hard as possible for your opponent to get out. And that comes, like you're saying, to experience of just playing and understanding the balls. But in the end, you know, if you got, like you're saying, 2 skill level 4 players playing, maybe their best strategy is to hit the balls, break them open, and hope that their other opponent doesn't run out, but now a little more spread out for them the next time they come up there.
I agree with you 100%. I see that a lot in APA play. Guys almost count on the fact that their opponent will not get out. And it allows you the opportunity to have a little bit more fun on the table and just take some shots that you normally wouldn't take. Shots that a player of your caliber certainly probably wouldn't take, but that's part of the APA and amateur pool. It's part of the romance, so to speak.
And I'm sure there's plenty of players out there that are proud to knock the balls wide open and say, I knew that was going to work. You know, they run back to their teammates and they're like, I told you he was going to miss within 2 balls.
I did that my whole career. I did that my whole career, Sean. I always took credit. I never acted like anything was an accident.
Well, looks like the Stripes got control of this hole down here in the bottom right. Got the 11 ball and 14, so the 6 ball is not going in this corner.
It's a battle of corner pocket control. Up top the table, the low ball has control of the corner pocket, and down here it's Stripes is in control, so it's going to be interesting to see how this rack works out.
Gonna play a combo here. 3 ball combo. No, 2 ball combo. I thought the stripe was in the way. It obviously wasn't. Oh, watch out, 8 ball.
Wow.
That was okay.
I'm not sure if that was his plan to try and take a chance there, but he really flirted with that 8 ball in the side pocket.
Yeah, the cue ball came up off the back rail, nipped the 8 ball. Obviously because of how hard he hit the cue off of the 5. But he got his 5-ball out and out of trouble because he knows he has the corner pocket with the 3 up table in his control for now. Now this wouldn't be a pretty good shot here. You just bump one of these stripes, leave the cue ball up table.
Sorry about that. Apologize to my viewers for my cell phone going on in the background. I was going to blame that on Sean Wilkie, but I'm just going to take the rap for it. I apologize.
That was a pretty funny ringtone, though. I do believe that was from Tommy Boy.
Yes, that's a quote from Tommy Boy, Sean. You're right on that.
Can't do anything wrong with Chris Farley. That guy was great.
Well, and this is what you were talking about earlier, when you want to deal with your problem balls early in the rack.
That was a good shot on the 3.
Although he played that well. I was going to illustrate there how you should deal with your problem balls earlier in the rack and not save them for later. But Frank Avizano Sr. definitely
looks like he has a shot
in a good position here to close out this set. If you pocket this 8-ball.
Roller in.
And there it is.
Good shot.
Big match victory for Frank Avizano Sr. He wins that set 3-1, giving his team a 2-0 match victory in match number 2. So now the Tuesday Terrorizers from Pemberton, New Jersey have taken the lead 3-2 over the Leftovers from Franklinville, New Jersey. Big win for Frank Avizano Sr.
Really nice shot, high pressure shot on that 8-ball.
Yeah.
It's easy to miss that ball. It's easy to
table straight in, very tough.
I've missed that ball a million times. Yep.
Yeah, you would think he'd be very nervous. Maybe we get a chance to get Frank over here on the mic and maybe he could tell us his thought process.
I'm working on it.
We'll send our sideline reporter over there, see if we can get a word with Frank. He's over talking to his teammates, explaining how he never had a doubt, Sean. He never had a doubt. He knew that ball was going in the whole way.
Right.
That's what we all say after it goes in. I don't know what you guys were worried about. I never had a doubt.
I did have a quick question.
It's okay. We'll lead you through it.
We are.
I can throw up. No.
We are going to be.
Okay, go ahead. Tell me what I want to say.
Frank Avizano Sr. is going to sit down and chat with us a little bit after that big 2-0 match victory. He mentioned that he's feeling a little nauseous with nerves afterwards, but we're hoping he manages to refrain from vomiting on the control table here. Frank, can you tell us a little bit about that win? It's a big win for your team. You guys were down 2-1 after the first match, and you picked up your teammate, and with that 2-0 match victory, now your team's ahead 3-2.
I like that. I didn't know. She didn't tell me. The man shot a hell of a game. A very good game. Sorry.
Okay, try and keep it Christian here.
I try. I used to drive trucks. No. I was nervous, very nervous. It's the first time I've ever been on TV. And I enjoy a game of pool, and he's such a nice guy.
Is this your first time in the finals of the championship?
Yes.
I said that earlier. I assumed it was your first time.
We get here every year, and I think we usually make it into the second round.
I remember in 2011, Frank, your team was alive Sunday afternoon, so I think you made it to the quarterfinals.
It could be.
Yeah, that was a big year for you guys. But
I was born confused.
I'm very excited for your team. You played a lot of nice shots in that match, right?
I have 2 tables at my house, and I do practice a lot. I'm addicted to this game.
Can you tell us at the end of that rack, when you lined up for the 3-ball in the corner, were you nervous about clipping the 10? It looked pretty tight from my angle.
It was a little more than it was, but I'm a firm believer that when you're shooting, what happens is going to happen. And I aimed it up, and I shot it the way I wanted to.
And everything worked out well. Were you nervous at all shooting that 8-ball?
I'm still nervous. Yes. The problem with that is when you get down onto the 8-ball, sometimes you want it so bad, and that's when you usually mess up.
After you scratched on the 8-ball, I had mentioned during your opponent's timeouts, I thought it was a mistake that your team wasn't speaking to you during the timeouts. Would you have preferred a teammate to come over and talk to you and try and calm you down?
They liked me. No, they know that normally I think it through myself, and I try to not repeat the mistake I made in order to do that. And honestly, I didn't realize that it would do that when I shot that shot. Okay. I actually believed I was safe with that shot. That's usually when you mess up.
Well, unfortunately, yes. Are you talking about feeling complacent, maybe a little bit too complacent before the shot?
Sometimes, yes. Especially on a shot that you've done before, and your mind thinks to yourself, oh, this is easy. Those are the ones you mess up.
Do you, when you're in those positions, do you like stand up and
Yes.
chalk your cue, try and take your little extra time to prevent that from happening?
I believe the easier shots are the ones you need to put that little more time into, because the harder shots you do it automatically.
Exactly, I agree with you.
And it's the easy shots that mess up your game.
It's very true. I like that comment, because at a pro level, you know, that's the things
I
that's
pride
gonna lose your
myself on, I feel I have a lot of common sense, and I just try to use it. So I can't say I'm a fantastic pool player, but I'm a very good chess player.
Yeah, you got a good mind.
Well, I can say as your league operator, Frank, you're a great member of the APA. I'm very happy that your team's in this position. I'm very proud of you for winning that match, and hopefully the rest of the match will go well, and we'll speak to you later after a team victory. Everybody wants to go to Vegas. That's the goal.
Good luck.
But thank you for having me speak, and I think everybody should play pool.
Oh, absolutely.
I agree with you 100%. I couldn't agree with you more, Frank.
Because I love it.
Thank you very much for joining us, Frank Avizano Sr.
Did great. You got an awesome mind game, too. Love
Yeah, that
it.
was great.
Nice to see the enthusiastic member, isn't it? A guy that's feeling that good about himself after a big victory in a match this big. It's really nice to see.
Well, it means a lot to him, like I was saying before, as a team member and just loving the game. You know, he's got a table at his house. Obviously, he plays it a lot because he enjoys it. And he's here at this level for a trip to Vegas.
Exactly.
And that means a ton to him right now.
Yes, it does. During the conversation with Frank Avizano Sr., I missed... Did you see, Sean, who put up first in this match?
I'm not sure who
did the
put up
leftovers put Robert Mullane up first and Frank Avizano Jr. was matched up? Or is it the other way around? Did Frank Avizano Jr. go up first?
I'm not sure. I was glancing to the other side at the time.
You know what?
We can find out
We'll
here
have to
in a
find
minute.
out, because in match 2, the leftovers put Ray Racino up first. So in match 3, it alternates. That was Tuesday Terrorizers put up. They must have put Frank Avizano Jr. up. He is a skill level 5. And the leftovers from Franklinville, New Jersey, trailing 3-2 in this match, have decided to put up their best player, skill level 7, Robert Mullane. And he made short work of that first rack to take a 1-0 lead in the set.
I see Bob. He just finished that rack off, and he goes, "I learned that from watching Sean Wilkie."
little plug there for Sean Wilkie.
Bob's a good friend of mine, and Dave's, of course, in the New Jersey area. And he made a good run out, so he's excited right now.
That was like a 30-second run out right there, buddy.
Yes, if you blinked, you missed it. You'll see that a lot from Bob Mullane. As his league operator, I've scored a lot of his matches, and Bob puts up some very impressive scores, a lot of 5-0 victories. He doesn't spend too much time at the table. He's very efficient. We're lucky enough to be joined here by my co-tournament director, APA of Bergen County, once again has joined up with the South Jersey APA to form this tournament called the War at the Shore, and we are joined now by the league operator of Bergen County APA, Mr. Anthony Narducci, a former player of mine. I'm very proud, has moved on to take over his own area, doing a splendid job, and his help this weekend has helped make this event go very smooth. I couldn't be happier with how it's gone, and so thank you for joining us, Anthony.
Thank you very much, Dave. Great words. Proud to be here. Great event. As always, you run a top-notch event with nothing but class.
You spent a lot of time on the floor this weekend, Anthony. You've seen a lot of interesting shots, a lot of bad shots, some good shots. Anything you want to tell us about, some interesting pool memory from this weekend?
A lot of really good shots on the tables. Most of the best shots were probably in the bars, though.
That's one of the best parts about an APA event. The players do kick back, relax, and enjoy themselves. That's the most important part about the APA. It's not just all about the pool and the competition. The camaraderie and the friendship really make the APA exceptional.
Meet people, have fun, play pool. That's what it's all about, Dave.
What could possibly go wrong?
That's exactly right.
Boy, Bob played that reverse cut in the corner like it was a hanger. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for him, but I'm sorry, that was Frank Avizano Jr. playing that reverse cut. You would think after losing the first rack as quickly as he lost it, that Frank would be feeling the pressure in this spot, but I tell you what, he walked up and hit that shot very well. It didn't go in for him, but I mean, he hit it really well.
Well, as you're saying, we got Frank and Bob playing, so that's a 7 and a 5 skill levels. What is the exact race in this match?
Yeah, Bob Mullane's going to have to win 5 games before Frank Avizano Jr. wins 3 games.
Oh, so he would like to get out the gate early then.
Yeah, considering his team suffered a 2-0 loss in match number 2, and now they trail 3-2, I would think that they put Bob Mullane up here trying to get the 3-0 that you talked about earlier, Sean. Put your best player at the table and see if you can get a clean sweep and take back control of this match.
Yeah,
I would think that's the goal here.
The momentum shift is huge at this point in the match.
And you know how it is with them threes playing against the higher numbers.
It can go either way. I've seen the threes roll over and get nervous, and the match gets away from them very quickly. And then again, I've seen the threes feel very confident because they're receiving so much weight from the 7. They feel less nervous, and they feel, there's also a part of you that feels like, well, my teammates don't expect me to beat the 7, so they just go out there, and it's almost like they're playing with house money. Next thing you know, they pull off a big win and turns the whole match around. So I've seen it go both ways.
That's right, and that's the great thing about our equalizer handicap system, that just about anybody come out here and play somebody of Bob Mullane's skill type.
Exactly. If I played Bob Mullane straight up, I would have very little chance of beating him. But thanks to the equalizer system, you're right, Anthony. It keeps things really even, and I have beaten 7s that are way better than me, and because of the APA equalizer system, that's made that possible. So, very good point. Exactly. And then you get to brag and tell everybody how you beat the 7. Nobody asks you if you got weight. They just ask you who won the match, and you say, I did.
Technically, he would be considered a superhero being a national champion. So,
sure, that's a very good point.
Oh yes,
the championship shot of water is much more impressive than mine.
Much more.
Oh, Frank tried to.
I know, as we were talking, Bob had a chance to run this rack, but he jawed his second to last ball before the 8. He was on his stripe, and he gave Frank Jr. an opportunity back at the table. Let's see if he could take advantage.
Is that the 6 ball locked on the 5 down at the bottom of the table, Sean?
I do believe so. Oof. Oh, man, he tried to play the 4 off of the stripe.
This is, you can see Frank Avizano Jr. is a little frustrated there with that shot.
Well, Bob's going to jack up on this and try to spear it in. Good shot.
A little risky shot there from Bob Mullane, but you can't argue with the results. He's dead on the 8 for an easy shot in the corner pocket, and that would give him a quick 2-0 lead in this match.
He seems to be in a good zone. He's very focused. Obviously, he's happy to have his opponent allow him back to the table that rack. And he's going to be up 2 games to 0.
Yeah, he seems pretty loose. You can feel the attitude of the leftovers change, and they felt a little discouraged after losing that second match 2-0 and trailing 3-2. But now that Bob's come out and quickly won the first 2 games of this set, you can definitely see the attitude change in this match. I think the momentum's switching here, Sean.
I had a quick question for you, Dave. I heard some rumors earlier that a couple teams actually had the same players on the teams that they're playing in the finals. So how does that work if you have the same players? Like, you play in divisions before you get here for the playoffs, and you play on your friend's team in one county, and you play on another team in another county, but you come here and you have same players. How does that work?
Are you talking of 2 teams in the tournament meet that share the same players?
Right.
Well, you have a choice in that spot. You can choose to declare for one of the teams, or you could just sit out. And the advantage, obviously, to sitting out is you play for Team A and you play for Team B. If you sit out and you do not declare yourself as a member of one of those teams specifically, regardless of who wins the match, you get to advance in the draw, and that's the reward for the player that's taken the time to play on multiple teams, while their teammates have to sweat in that situation.
And that's also
you get to sit back and drink some beer.
Having an extra 1 or 2 players on the team to cover that spot.
Exactly.
That happens.
Exactly. I understand we're still having some technical difficulties here with the storms, but I can assure the viewers that our crew is working on it, and we hope to have that resolved quickly.
Well, Frank had a shot of the stripe, 9-ball up in the rail. I do believe that was the one, my fault.
This is the kind of rack, Sean, I feel like you might see a really tight safe. Looks like he's going to, he's not going to be happy with that. It looks like he overrolled it and actually left Frank Avizano Jr. a chance to clear up one of his biggest problem balls.
Hey, he's going to go ahead and shoot the 3.
A pretty nice shot by Frank Avizano Jr. Left himself an easy shot for the 5 down the rail.
He's got the 5, the 2, the 7, and the 1 left. So you got to get the cue ball over to the left side of the table here if you can. And he also has a 6 maybe, so.
He's looking pretty good here, Sean. He had enough angle to drift out into the center of the table and leave himself a decent shot on the 6 ball.
He follows off of the 9 and comes 2 rails. He used inside. See there, because you're clipping the right side of the 9, if you use right English and go 2 rails, it helps you get back to the middle of the table. The inside English slowed up the cue ball.
Exactly. And an unfortunate kiss on the 9 too. Didn't do Frank Avizano Jr. any favors.
He
might get tried to play the triple bank there, Sean.
Yeah, it might have been the only thing he had. You never know.
Bob Mullane won the first 2 games pretty quickly in this match, so he's up 2-0 in a 5-3 race. I wonder if he'll play the 11-10 combo here, Sean. What do you think?
That's what it looks like. I thought he kind of had the angle. He could have kissed the 11, but if the combo is pretty dead on, he's okay from here. And it looks like it was.
Pretty nice shot there by Bob Mullane. I'm not sure if he has the 13 ball. That's not the 13, that's the 14 ball. I apologize. I'm not sure if you can see the 14 past the 1-8 into the side. Judging from his addressing the 9 ball, I would say no. Because he was playing for the 14 in the side pocket here. Come down table for the 11 in the corner.
Yep, and he's got to make sure he's got an open pocket for the 8.
Come back for the 8 in the side. Could be a 3-0 lead here pretty quickly. So Anthony, how are the other finals going? We have 19 championship matches going on here in the Sentence to Life Holiday Tours Grand Ballroom. Did you have a chance to see any of those matches on your way over here?
I've been walking around checking them out. Things are going pretty good. Things are running smooth. We do have one of them matches going with the common players, where there's 5 common players on the team over on table 61. They're just having a good time because they all know they're going to Vegas.
Exactly.
They're just going to just jump in together. The guys that don't go as well. And there's Bob winning his third, right? I've played Frank before, though. He's a determined player. He's not going to give up. He's going to buckle down and try to take this.
He will get more and more determined as the match goes on. He's going to have to because Bob Mullane's shooting very strong in this set and now is ahead 3-0. So Bob Mullane only needs 2 more racks to finish off Frank Avizano Jr.'s. Frank Avizano's going to have to win 3 times, and from the way Bob Mullane's shooting, that looks like it's going to be a pretty tall order for Frank. Then again, I have seen stranger things happen, Sean, and so have you.
That's very true. Obviously, Bob's the favorite player, being in skill level 7. But like you were saying earlier, if Frank can get to the hill, he gets his team a couple points, and maybe that can be crucial for the next player coming in. Even though he may not be able to come back and win this match, a couple points is what he might have to be focused on right now since Bob is playing pretty good.
Very good point, Sean. If Bob Mullane was able to win the next 2 games, that would be a 3-0 shutout for the leftovers. But you bring up a good point, Sean. Under the new 3-point scoring system in the APA, it behooves a player to continue to bear down and shoot hard. If Frank can win just 1 rack, it turns from a 3-0 win for Bob Mullane to a 2-0 win. And you're right, Sean. If he's able to win 2 racks, it could turn into a 2-1. Next thing you know, we're going to be tied up 4-4 going into the 4th match, and our viewers are going to see a very exciting finish, most likely.
This is very true, Dave. As a matter of fact, as I have been walking around out on the floor, you'd be surprised how many matches do finish 8-6 or 7-5 or 7-6, or even coming down to a sudden death match, which is, nobody wants to do that, but when you have to do it, you have to do it. But that's how close the matches have been. Everybody comes here to play, and everybody buckles down, and nobody gives up.
We're not going to call sudden death tonight, right, Anthony? I think we're going to let the finals play out since the stakes are very high.
I agree.
That's a good choice. I'm sure the teams appreciate that.
There's no official start time, no official end time.
None of the tournament directors relish the sudden death format. We realize it's an awful lot of pressure on a 1 rack of pull. It's a shame for that to happen, but in order for the event to run on time, we do in earlier rounds. But now that there's no more rounds coming up and we don't need the tables to be available for a coming round, we're just going to let the players play it out and decide their fate for the all-important local team championship trophy.
Like an old-fashioned heavyweight bout.
Yep.
As many rounds as it takes.
Back when we were young, and they used to box 15 of them. Remember those days, Anthony? I haven't heard any big celebrations, so I'm guessing we have not crowned our first champion yet. Is that correct?
I would have to say that's true. I haven't heard anybody. You'll know it. They'll come to our microphones probably pretty clear when somebody wins.
Looks like we're under some supervision here.
Sorry, we had to stop after all the pictures.
Well, when you're important like us, Anthony, everybody wants to get us on film. It's tough being this important.
I think they just think they're behind ball. We have microphones.
You might want to delete that one, buddy. There's no reason to save that on the old memory card. You can just hit the old delete there. Next time, warn me, and I'll tell you what my good side is, which is a close-up of the back of my head.
Well, as you guys were talking, Bob Mullane just had a chance at a run-out, but he played the 1 ball and nipped the 8-ball on the way in. So now he's got the 8-ball tied up on the top row.
Way to bring us back on page there.
I figured I'll let you guys do your thing, and I'd catch us up on the game.
It's important that we have you around to keep the viewers focused on the match while Anthony and I are satisfying another photo opportunity.
Hey.
Not much you could really do there. You try to put the 8 out in the open where he can pocket it later and make it a little more difficult for Frank Avizano Jr. to play a quality safe, and I think he succeeded.
This guy, yes. He definitely has to go to work here. But that was the effect of Bob basically leaving him the length of the table. You always make it hard on your opponent, never make it easy.
It goes without saying that Frank Avizano Jr. is not very satisfied with the result of that shot. He seems pretty frustrated. Once again, I think somebody from his roster should speak to him in between racks. It's important to calm him down and at least get 1 rack here to stop Bob Mullane from getting a 3-0 split.
Well, at this point, as we're going, this is going to put Bob. Oh, he missed it. It would have put Bob on the hill 4 games to 0, but Frank's going to have one last chance here. Let's see if he can get composed, because that's the main thing he's got to do right now. Breathe a little bit and focus 1 ball at a time. Yeah, he missed it, but he left the cue ball in a good spot where Bob's going to be in trouble. Bob's hating himself right now because they had an opportunity to make the 8 and seize this game, but now nothing is guaranteed here. As I was speaking earlier, no matter where you kick, you got to make sure you don't scratch. You can't give the game away.
Exactly. Especially when you're in a position where you could get a 3-0 match-turning victory. I do understand, Anthony, that we have crowned our first champion here at the War at the Shore. Ladies team, the Fab Five from Pine Hill, New Jersey, has managed to win the ladies 8-ball championship.
Very nice. Congratulations.
The first champion has been crowned, which is good news.
Good for them.
Got any names of the players maybe on that team? By putting you on the spot there?
Well, just a little bit, but I don't blame you. I know the Fab Five is captained by Judy Cruz, and Judy Cruz has been a member of the APA South Jersey since the late 90s, maybe the early 90s. She was just inducted into our 1500 match club at this event, so that gives the viewers an idea of how many matches Judy Cruz has played in the APA to reach the 1500 match club. So I'm very excited for Judy. She has not been to Vegas in at least 10 years, so I'm sure she's very happy to be taking her teammates out there to compete for $10,000 in the Ladies 8-Ball National Team Championships Tournament at the Riviera Hotel in Las Vegas, Nevada.
I can tell you exactly when the last time she went out to Vegas. It was in 2009 because she beat my team to go.
I'm sure that's a pleasant memory for you, Anthony, and thank you for sharing us.
It is actually. Thanks for
bringing it up at the end of that memory.
Well, now I'm retired and in the Hall of Fame myself, I can let that kind of stuff roll off my shoulders, Dave. Thanks.
There aren't many Hall of Famers walking around, but you are one of them, Anthony. I am too. Unfortunately, I went in as a member of a team, whereas you went in individually. Lane's in a bad spot.
I was about to say.
What would you do here, Sean?
Well, he's kicking at it the right way, but he's got to be careful. If he clips the top of the 8, he could scratch in the corner. But he went down below, which was the safe way. Is okay. So now, you're okay if your opponent gets ball in hand here and runs out, being a 5. But you're not okay giving the game away because that changes the next game. Momentum, mentally, and it might hurt your team in the end. So I believe he played it the right way. Now he's just hoping for an opportunity at an open shot at the 8 and not another safety. But for Frank, another safety is the best thing he can do for now. If he can stay in line, you go ahead and play his stripes and get to the 8 eventually, that's great. But if not, you just remember, you can't leave an open shot on the 8. You must keep control of the table here.
It's a big spot for Frank Avizano Jr. right here. This is a chance with a nice wide open rack where he can get out and get back in this match and at the very least stop Bob Mullane from getting that 3-0 split we talked about.
Yep.
He hit that very well.
He's got to be careful here. He's got a small angle. Got to hit it easy enough to stay up there for the 9-ball. Good shot. Now the shot here is you can either come down one rail near the side pocket, or you can follow 2 rails and shoot the 8 in the opposite corner. Let's see what he chooses. He took the angle right down by the side.
Well, he hit that very nice. I'm impressed with Frank Avizano, the way he's shooting this rack. You would think the way Bob Mullane came out firing with 3 games in a row that Frank might be feeling the pressure of the moment, but judging from the way he hit those shots,
he's stretching his neck, getting ready
he's doing what his father told him to do, which is take your time here on an easier shot.
Kind of about a 45 degrees cut. Let's just roll it in.
Just like that, 3-1. Both players need 2 wins apiece, and it's going down to the wire. We're fortunate enough to have our other co-tournament director, the other league operator from APA Bergen County, Dan Pittman, joining us. We're going to have to excuse Sean Wilkie for a little bit. Sean's going to have to take a little break. Below the equator break, if the viewers know what I mean. But we are joined here by the other league operator of APA Bergen County, Dan Pittman. Dan, Anthony, and myself have operated this war at the shore, and we're feeling pretty good about things. Dan, you've been walking around the tournament floor during these 19 championship finals. What are you seeing out there?
I think that it's very competitive out there, and that this is definitely one of the grandest tournaments that these players could be a part of. I think that there's a lot of competition going on everywhere, and everyone's ready for that big grand prize.
I think we're seeing a re-rack here too in the APA. If a player breaks and 4 balls do not hit a rail, that is not a legal break, and you get to re-rack, and the same guy gets to break again, regardless of how many times it happens.
Now that's the kind of break that you're looking for there. You want to see that separation wide out.
Yeah, I'd like to welcome Dan into the booth myself and congratulate him. He just found out he's going to be a dad again. He's going to have twins. Let's just like to put that out there on the airways, or actually the internet ways.
Thanks, buddy. Very excited for it. Definitely excited. Thank you. And I'll make sure the kids get to hear this tape when they're old enough, buddy.
That's right.
Make sure you don't say anything bad about the fiance, because she's probably going to hear it a little bit sooner than the children.
Definitely have nothing bad to say there at all.
We're going to find out if Bob Mullane is feeling the pressure now that Frank Avizano Jr. has managed to win a game. This is a pretty nice rack for Bob Mullane, and I wouldn't be surprised if he was able to run the table, but we'll know very quickly how he hits these first couple shots, how Bob Mullane's feeling about the moment.
The problem is down at the table, you see that you got the 3 stripes jammed up right past the 8. What that's going to do is create a weave pattern, but I think that 8 and 2 is going to create a problem later on in this rack.
I think he rolled up a little bit too far there, Dan. He wanted to get below the 3 so he could use it to come down table. But he's on top of the 3, so he had to change his plan there a little bit and hit with a softer ball speed to have another shot, but he hit that shot pretty nice.
Absolutely. With this next shot is what's going to decide whether or not he can get right back into that perfect position.
I'll tell you guys, I'd like to jump in here, but I can't hear a word you just said.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, when you're
Getting a little caught up in the moment there.
and not older, hearing sometimes can start to go, buddy.
Looks like Dan and Anthony, business partners from Bergen County APA, are taking an opportunity to throw a couple rib shots at each other.
I just figured all the boys in here, we weren't going to bother anybody by talking to each other over here in the corner. It's quiet in this. This is a soundproof booth anyway, isn't it? Nothing's getting out there.
This is a tough spot for Bob. I have to slow roll the 5 to stay down there for the 6 ball.
I think he
did a very nice job. We're going to try and use the short reel, I guess, to come up table for the 1.
So a little bit of
top. Not sure what his plan is for the 8.
A little bit of top spin to come right around on it. If he can fire that up there, I think that 8's going to go right off the strike ball, just like he's planning.
I don't think he's very excited about that kiss on the side.
By the look on his face, he's definitely not excited.
I'll tell you, it's great being here as someone helping run the event and all that, but it's hard watching when you love playing as much as we all did, to come here and watch and then have to talk about it. I think it's tough.
So myself, Anthony, since the first champion has been crowned, I'm going to have to excuse myself and start helping out our champions fill out their paperwork. But I appreciate being with you guys. Thanks for having me on the air, and I hope to join you again soon. Thank you.
Ooh, that's definitely not what he was going for. That shot alone opened the rack up to many, many possibilities.
Get them trophies, Dave. Oh, that's...
I came into place for Dave. That was an awesome opportunity to have him in the booth. I really enjoyed all of his information coming from the league, skill levels, and as such.
Avizano missed the out, and now has left Bob with a little bit of a luck shot here. So we're going to have to see exactly how he gets out of here, getting lucky on that leave.
So what do you see? He's kicking out, just trying to get a good hit?
Yeah, just trying to get the good hit. Opponent got the lucky lead, so now he's trying to come around on it again. Avizano has a wide open rack here. The first shot should give him great shape, obviously.
Frustration in that shot, though.
Yeah, and Bob, I know from the last game before I left for my bathroom break, yeah, opportunity, pretty simple one on the 8 to go up 3, I believe 4-0. So I'm sure there's some emotions right now for Bob, especially since Frank ran out the last rack to get a game on the wire. And if Frank can get this one, I believe that puts him on the hill, because Dave was saying it's a 7 skill level, 5 skill level, so that makes it a
3-5 race.
3-5
The way he cleaned up that last rack, that's not out of the question here.
This is the shot that really puts him right back into position. This cue ball lead is going to decide the rest of this rack.
Good speed, but he put a little inside on it, so he might have got himself in trouble. If he just rolls the ball up and plays safe here.
That would be the shot to definitely take. Just nice speed and lock it up, forcing him to kick at it.
Oh, he went for it. Wow.
Oof. Wow, and that was a very, very nice shot to attempt to get shape. If he just rolls it down, if he rolls this down, he can play the 14 right in the side, finishing the 8 off down in that bottom corner where that 9's going. I think that's what's about to happen here.
This is touchy. You're on the rail.
Ooh. Nice two-way shot. Nice two-way shot. A little bit of frustration there in Bob's face, as you can see, getting ready to approach this shot. It's going to be his second attempt at a kick shot. When you have that one ball left on the table, it's very difficult. Oh.
Wow, did he make it and then scratch off at one of the stripes?
That was a bad break.
Unbelievable.
Well, Dave, you sound like you were made for this. You ever think about taking up maybe as a hobby? Who knows what it turns into from there?
Absolutely. I mean, this APA thing seems to be working out pretty good. We're going to ride that for a little while. CBS broadcasting, here we come.
That's what I was thinking. CBS, NBC, hey, ESPN.
Very nice. I wouldn't mind being in the booth with you.
Thanks,
I mean, why not?
Appreciate that. Why not? We've been on a table a few times. I feel like I'm still up in that race, but I mean, we can address that.
Yeah, we'll put our knowledge to the screen instead of the table.
Again, textbook out.
At least he'll have a chance there.
It's just simple center ball.
Right, Sean?
True.
He's going to live on those 2 times he probably beat you out of the 20.
Don't worry.
I actually got it tattooed last night on my shoulder, and we're just going to keep adding the tally marks as we go. For wins, of course, not losses. They stay off.
We don't play for about a year from now.
Again, another textbook out caused by losses and aggravating leaves.
That's going to put our score line at 3 games for Bob and 2 for Frank.
Yeah, that was a tough mistake there.
What that's going to be is that's going to put Avanzano on the hill. So here with a nice, easy, wide-open break, he should be able to do something with this and basically play on the fact that he's up in this race and know that his opponent is the one who has to make those game-winning shots while he just has to stick to textbook playing pool and close this out.
Sometimes that's what you got to do. You got to keep that momentum, the pressure on your opponent, because that gives him an opportunity to make mistakes that he usually wouldn't do.
It's the difference of Bob Mullane having to now play great pool versus Avanzano have to just play pool.
Right. And Bob was more relaxed earlier, and now he's not.
Correct.
But this game's obviously going to be a chess match with the balls being close together in the beginning.
I think you have 6 balls right there, or is it about 5, all within a rack's distance of each other. So you're going to be seeing at least 1 or 2 breakout shot attempts, or just the chess match of make
I think it's got to be a chess match here. Bob wants to get back in this. He doesn't want to open anything up and give his opponent a chance here. He's going to have to. I think he's going to pick away and hide from this guy every chance he can. But then he's got to make shots like that.
And as we were talking about earlier, with the frustration of having to play that great pool and know each shot matters, that's when you get the rattles on these tight diamond tables.
That's true. Most of the time, sometimes when you're in the chair and you've lost a couple games in a row, you're really just hoping for your opponent to give you something easy to start with. But when it seems like it's hard, that frustration can just hold on inside. I like to say you need to come with that big C, which I like to call composure. And if you can just be composed and leave in the past those last 2 games what happened, and just get back to your game, stay steady, you give yourself the best opportunity to limit your mistakes from here on out.
Absolutely. What we like to remind our players every time we see the nerves get into them, we see them getting nervous in these game must-win situations, we remind them this is the sport that they love, and this is just a Monday night with their friends out at a higher, bigger stage. As long as they remember that, usually that cool, calm head is what prevails in a situation like this. Again, much easier spoken from a commentator chair than on the table.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, exactly. But that is good advice. They see shots every day, all the time. The shots don't change. It's how they approach them is what changes.
Very well put. Very well put.
Yep, your mechanics, your mind game. There's a couple variables involved. But remember the love of the game, and that'll get you back in it faster than anything else.
Yep. Bob with a beautiful draw to come back up table. Try and get some of these problem balls out of the way so that way he can come back down and get a few connectors going. Very good speech. Oh, just out of aim again. Standing up quickly through that shot due to the frustration. He's really got to get a calm head back into this game. That's really the only thing he can do at this point.
He looked like he was getting frustrated in the last rack, and that one looked that way too.
A little bit of help there. A little bit of help to get that ball in there with a double kiss.
I believe he's got a shot at the other strip.
Trying to squeeze by.
Ooh, and that's a tough miss. But again, folks, not giving up much when you have a rack this close. Again, chess match. He's going to have to just keep poking a ball out here and there, trying to get any shape he can. It's going to come down to who just gets that one open shot to start running the rack.
Of course, and they're going to need them open at the time, and then pick and choose your pattern, your style, and just stay with the flow of the game.
Now, when I used to play, what I really like to do, and I know Anthony's a fan, is showing all the games you've shot. In this situation, I really like to look for that one key safe shot and then play to that as if it is the game-winning shot. So here, I'm taking 3 or 4 problem balls out of the way and just leaving that one perfect safe that the ball in hand can change this whole match for me.
Right. It's a very good plan.
A lot of people just look for the safe when they're in trouble, but if you play to the actual safe shot, that can be the game changer there. Oh, and he locks up on a ball.
Can he go ahead and try to play, just try to play nip and tuck safety, leave him tied up. Don't give, Bob an open opportunity to get loose and get back into the match, because now he's got him where he wants him, really, because of the momentum shift the last 2 games.
Bob going for the bank shot here to try and take the pocket.
If he would have made that 9, that would have been a beautiful shot. Would have been a beautiful defensive shot, and they are really important, like Dan was saying.
True.
Playing smart at the amateur level is so, and at the pro level. But of course, at the pro level, you guys tend to make a lot more shots than we do. But I mean, playing smart.
Years of experience and just knowing the game, but at this level,
nothing to do with skill, right?
Well, that's part of it, of course. The practice through the motions.
Even at the amateur level, a lot of people tend to ask, been to Vegas a few times and been on that stage. They ask, what's the difference between the first place and second place? And 9 times out of 10, it's that one safe shot that you saw that the other guy didn't. That's really all that it can come down to.
That's true. Because sometimes the safety, in retrospect, is easier than the shot, but some players don't see it. But I believe in the APA, most of the players from the 4 to 7 level, they have to think of that, I would think, because obviously, even at my level, you can't get out all the time. So you keep that in the back of your mind and get comfortable with that safety. You're doing the best for your team at that time for the game.
See, and now right here, what happened was Bob had an opportunity to tap that one ball and really just play a true safe shot and hide behind the floor to try to get that, again, that perfect safe shot. But I think with him trying to scramble to get back in this match, he's trying to just slowly do what he can.
And the safe shot kind of gets a bad rap. Like, people think when you play a safe, like you're not playing true pool or something like that. And you really hear it right here from our professional, Sean Wilkie, that, playing smart and playing defensive shots is an important part of the game.
The way I explain it is when you have an offense in football, and if there was no defense or D-backs on the field, so you can just pass bombs down the field all day, so the receiver catches it, that's not the way the game's played.
Peyton Manning would have 20 Super Bowls if that was a fact. You know what I mean?
It's because you're Peyton Manning,
he's the greatest quarterback in the world.
Absolutely.
Ever lived.
I happen to be with 2 guys who have man crushes on Peyton Manning.
Right, it's not a man crush, it's just legit.
Always for Dan.
And like he just said, guess what won last year's Super Bowl? Even though we're talking about pool real quick, the defense of the Seattle Seahawks.
Yes.
Not the offense of either team.
And there is the safe shot that we were talking about. When you can bury the guy right in the rack, it's going to cause Bob to try to push something out. He has to have something to push out to try to make a difference in this match.
Now you can see now how if he would have knocked that 9-ball in earlier on that defensive shot, how it would really have played in now. I mean, this guy would really have to open up now. He has an opportunity to try something here, open the ball up, and possibly knock his 9-ball in and continue to shoot.
Avanzano here went for
nice safe shot there.
Went for the textbook shot here to push everything together, forcing Mullane again to make that shot.
You guys are all good.
As we're talking, I'm trying to count and see how many balls we still got in this cluster.
Here we go.
I think we just had an 8-ball and a break nearby.
That wasn't the excitement of a win. It's much louder than that, believe me.
Oh, and again,
and it lasts longer.
As we keep talking about, forcing Bob to have to play catch-up here instead of taking the nice, easy shots. He knows the great pull is what's needed here. He keeps trying for that really big shot to turn the match around, and it's not working. I would go back to the basics here and just 1-2, 1-2 with the safe shots.
Right. Well, he's got ball in hand here, so from what I can see in the stack, it looks like we have 7-ball, 3-ball, and 11.
I'm getting way off.
With Frank having the stripes, we should be able to shoot maybe the 11-ball first and get it out.
All right, gang, listen, I'm going to have to go back on the floor. It was a pleasure being in the booth with Sean Wilkie and my partner, Dan Pittman. Dave Pietrowski's on his way back in. I just want to say goodbye to my family back home. I'll be home soon. I miss my daughters, and I love you. I'll be back soon.
All right, thanks, Anthony. We really enjoyed
Thank you very much. Somebody was in trouble. I think it was Dave. He just got the cold stare from the suits. Yeah. That's okay. They just want some confirmation on what time I should keep the ball up until.
If he can make this with a little bit of top left and come right back out for the 8, just like that, he should be able to have
wow, look at this. He ended up a little long on it, but he's got an opportunity. Like you said, good angle. He can hit the 8 full, about a 40, 45-degree cut maybe.
I put a little bottom left on here just for this throw to throw it right in.
You can, depending on how you like it. I was watching him earlier. It seems like he likes to roll these kind of balls. He made a similar 8-ball shot a couple games ago. But here
this would be a spot where I'd call a timeout. I would call a timeout here. When you see a player on your team thinking this much before a shot in this spot, I would definitely call a timeout here. I'm a little surprised Tuesday Terrorizers are saying nothing.
If for nothing else, just to actually calm your nerves and say, this is what we're going to do, buddy, to confirm that this is the right shot we're going to take.
Exactly.
But he's just announced that he's actually not going for the win here. He's actually going to just poke it near the pocket. That's what they're discussing currently.
And Bob Mullane has called the referee over. That adds a little tension to the situation. I would have definitely called timeout here.
I think he has an opening to make it, though.
Maybe I agree. I think it was there, but I thought the spin was needed. I didn't think it was as full as it needed. But this now puts Bob in the must-win situation. That 8-ball's in a spot where it has to be. And we're going to start the run here. It's going to be 4 balls to get to the 8. And it all starts with that one key shot to get that perfect position.
Well, he's going to shoot the 1 and follow around, but he has to shoot the 7-ball right now, even though it leaves the 8-ball open.
Hey, Sean, would you have started off with the 2 balls directly in front of the 2 ball?
That's what I was saying, yeah. The 7-ball up in the corner was probably the
I was
play.
surprised about that shot myself.
I would have opened it right up, and then it puts you in an area where, yeah, you must win, but now you have the textbook out rather than the difficult out.
Ooh. He escaped the side there.
Bob's playing it tight to the chest. I believe a safe shot's coming up here, guys. I think that he's just going to
shoot the 3 and stop him behind the 7.
Absolutely, but it looks like he's lining up on the 2. I think he should be thinking about this safe shot and just laying up on that 2 ball. Because then you're putting your opponent flipping the switch and making him, hey, now you need to make that great game-winning shot.
Well, if the 7 goes, he can be alright, but the 3 ball's going to get knocked down to the bottom rail. See that?
Even though he missed that shot, that works out pretty good for Bob. Obviously, his 7-ball blocks the 8 now. Frank Avanzano Jr. has limited possibilities here. I would suppose he could play a bank, but
it looks like
I believe that the bank goes right by. I think if you just, no spin, you just nice and easy, let the angle open up, it's going right in.
Don't nip the 3. Got it. Watch out, Q-ball.
Wow. Frank Avanzano Jr. Very tough breaky. I give him credit, though, for a big spot like that. He really played that shot with a great deal of confidence. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for him, but I give him credit for taking that shot with such confidence.
Now, sometimes in a big game-winning match like this, that's really the spark that you need to get your confidence back from Mullane's side of things. Hey, now it's a little closer. Let's buckle down and finish this out.
Yeah, that puts us at hill, I believe.
Yes, it does. It definitely does. So now, again, we're back to even here.
This match is going to go down to the wire. Our viewers are going to get to see an exciting finish. Just another great match and another great tournament. I'm just very happy with the way things have gone. Very happy that my staff gave me a chance today to run out and see my daughter Sarah's dance recital.
Awesome.
She danced incredible. And I'm giving you my unbiased opinion when I tell you she was by far the most talented dancer in the room. There's probably a lot of fathers that say that, but there's only one that's right, and it's me. Sarah Miller Piotrowski was by far the best I saw.
I definitely think that the minute that you stepped out, it says a lot for your staff to step up and handle things the way that they did to make sure rounds go out on time. And this is our third largest tournament in the world, and even though help's there, your staff truly stepped up and made sure things were done right for the players. It was the best thing that could have happened.
Nice management style, man.
Thank you very much. I agree with Dan 100%. It was very nice for me to be able to step out on an event this large and spend some time with my daughter and my family and not have to worry about things while I'm gone. Nice shot there by Bob.
It looks like that Bob underplayed that just a little bit. I think he wanted to come out a little bit more, but again, you got to make sure you get that spin coming off the rail.
Right, he had a small window there, so even hitting at that speed, maybe it was the only thing he had, because if he hits it harder, the ball may not win.
Again, it's always easier in the commentary booth to pick exactly what we want that cue ball to be.
We don't have to.
Absolutely.
That's our fault. Man.
No, you got to blame it on the table. That's what pool players do. Is chalk wasn't on my cue.
So that shot is just textbook. You could be off by even half an inch that 2 and sure it dropped.
He's got the 11, I believe. Or 13 he's shooting, but he's got the 11 and the 12. I can't tell the other stripe over here tied up. He's going to try to bump him.
Oh, see, now the 11 was set up. If you would have just played a little top to come out and played that 11 down in the corner, the 12 would have naturally rolled out. But he's in that mode where he knows this is the buckle down situation. Let's shoot what we can to get it done.
Plus, he's happy to, have his opponent scratch on the 8, unfortunately. But now he has a chance to get the win for this match, the W.
A lot of players sometimes get caught up in that go, go, go mentality. And as I said earlier, you kind of sometimes need to stop and reevaluate the situation of what's the smart way to get out of this, not what's the best way I can get out of this.
I like to say, at the pro level, because we've done it a little bit more, the table actually talks to you if you pay attention to it a little bit. It gives you the answer. It says, don't do this, do this.
Yes.
And it's important to do that considering that this is hill for both of these players. So whoever wins this rack will win this set. Tuesday Terrorizers presently is ahead 3-2 in the match.
So this could give them the 2-1 match here to actually bump that up and make that gap a little bit bigger. This is a big point here that we're going after.
Exactly. If Bob Mullane's able to pull this out, it would tie the match up 4-4. But if Frank Avizano Jr. is able to pull this rack out, he would give his team a pretty sizable 5-3 advantage. That's a tough break for Frank.
Another tough break for Frank Avizano. That side pocket is just eating him up tonight.
Looks like Bob's stripes are open. He's going to play the one stripe on the side, draw over to the side rail. Oh, he's going to play the ball up top first.
Which is a little unusual here because that ball can be seen from such a large portion of the table. I would go for the closer out and keep it close to the chest here.
Yeah, it looks like he played at good speed, though. I mean, I guess you can go either way depending on how comfortable you are with the shot. But here's the key. Stay on the 8 as straight in as possible. And landed pretty good on it.
Very nice. This is just a simple center ball. Again, just make sure that ball gets in there. Send the 8 in the pocket. Cue ball has really no issues here. Beautiful shot for Bob to tie this match up for the trip to Vegas. Well played by Bob Mullane to come back into the match. He got his head down and ran it out right.
And that ties this match up. That gives the leftovers now have come from behind. They were down 3-2 after the first 2 matches. This 2-1 split for Bob Mullane in match number 3 ties things up 4-4. It's going to be a pretty exciting finish here for our viewers in this local team championship.
Is that going to leave us 2 matches left, Max?
Exactly. 5 men play. 5 men have to play to a skill level limit of 23, so it's going to be the leftovers put up here in match number 4. They'll have to declare a shooter, and in Tuesday Terrorizers will have 2 minutes to match that put up, and we'll see the teams huddling now over here on the side. And everybody knows that this is a crucial put up at this point in the match. match, you're probably going to see what the leftovers feel is either the first or second best player on the roster, aside from Bob Mullane.
To try to open that gap right back
Exactly.
up.
I would be surprised if you see someone besides Ralph Yenner or Stephen Mullane here. I actually see Ralph Yenner now taking off his jacket, and I would expect the leftovers to put him up in this spot.
Well, when it comes down to this, you also said with that 23 handicap, that's what makes the APA good for everyone. I mean, this is the league where everyone is needed to play. We look for people that can just enjoy the game, and then that way we make it fair. You can't have all the sevens on the team. You can't. It's not all about the best guy. It's the real team effort and the camaraderie that you build around that team.
Exactly, Dan. That's an excellent point. It's nice to have a skill level 7 like Bob Mullane on your roster, but once you play him, he does eat up a considerable portion of the 23 total, so you can't put 2 Bob Mullanes at the table. Not everybody can have a Bob Mullane, so it's teams with even rosters have just as much an opportunity to win as the teams that have a Bob Mullane, and Ralph Yenner was the declaration here. So now Tuesday Terrorizers will have 2 minutes to match that declaration.
Ralph Yenner, he's definitely a solid player through the past few years, going back and forth between a 4 and a 5. He's seen this situation many a times, and that leather skin you develop after going to tournaments is really what's needed in this pressure situation to take the lead.
Absolutely.
I would be surprised if you see someone besides Roy Schillings here.
On the opposite team.
But then again, Roy Schillings is playing in another final in this ballroom, so that could compromise the strategy of Tuesday Terrorizers. I'm not certain if Roy Schillings is available to shoot. Oh, never mind, I'm wrong. Here he is. I was right. They're going to match up with... Apparently I can captain these two teams, Dan. I'll have Ralph Yenner going up first and Roy Schillings matching.
It shows the years of experience through an illustrious player APA career.
Either that or my secret crystal ball.
Thought it was a magic 8-ball around here. Well, as we were doing previously, would we like to get Bob Mullane in the booth, give us a couple answers about the match?
I think the viewers would enjoy that. Maybe get Bob Mullane over here to talk about that big win for his team.
Come on over here and talk about that win.
Oh, do I have to? Yeah. Oh my goodness.
We're lucky enough to have Bob Mullane join us, fresh off that big win from his team. Bob, you want to give us some thoughts here on how you're feeling about your victory? You must feel pretty good about yourself. The big match there, 2-1 victory, bringing your team back from being down 3-2, tying it up 4-4.
I was a little frustrated after missing that straight in 8-ball, and then I kept getting locked in 1-ball jail. You know, even when he missed, you know, there were so many balls on the table, I ended up getting stuck. Then I finally kick a ball in, and I scratch. You know, it's just, that's the way the game works. I mean, I just had to bear down and fight my way back.
Coming back, it forced you, instead of playing just regular pool, you knew you had to play great pool to get right back into that match, and that's what we saw from you.
Yeah, and I had a couple safeties roll out on me, and I played him a little too hard, and they came out and left him open. You know, I was trying to, make him make the mistake, and I kept leaving him open, which you just can't do.
And a little fact here about Ralph Yenner as he's about to rack. Morgan Yenner, his granddaughter, actually he missed her graduation, and today is her 18th birthday to be here for this big APA event. I think this was the right throw in this situation because he knows how big a situation he missed, so now he gets to prove it right here today.
Okay, well, seeing I'm the coach, I'm going to get back to the team. Thanks to Dave and everybody who is doing a great job this weekend. And keep up the good work, guys. Sean?
Thanks, Bob.
Thanks very much for joining us, Bob. Good luck the rest of the way. Hopefully we'll be talking to you soon after your team wins the championship and wins their trip to Las Vegas.
Let's hope so.
Roy Schillings with the break here.
Now again, the race here with Ralph Yenner being a 5 and Roy Schillings being a 4. Ralph needs 4 wins to Schillings 3 wins. So right now, as a 5 being in this position, I know that Ralph wants to jump out ahead and even that race up very quick.
And now Tuesday Terrorizers also is able to understand and be able to predict the skill level of player that the leftovers will have for the 5th match, considering that they've played Ray Racino, skill level 4, Stephen Yakura, skill level 4. Bob Mullane, skill level 7. They've already eaten up 15 of their 23. Now they put up Ralph Yenner, skill level 5 in match 4. So they've used 20 of the 23 total skill level limit. It isn't a big leap for Tuesday Terrorizers to know that in the 5th and final match they're going to see either Jennifer Mullane, skill level 3, or Mark Hacking, skill level 3. And this is all part of the strategies of the APA.
Freight Train.
That is correct. I'll correct myself for the viewers. That is Jennifer Freight Train Mullane, skill level 3.
For to be put in this pressure situation to eventually buckle down as a 3, play her best game she can, and handle the pressure like it
It's
should.
going to be a little more challenging for the leftovers to predict who Tuesday Terrorizers will play in the last match, since their skill levels are a little bit more wide open.
You guys seem to know your players very well.
And what happens here is you're able to predict either by skill level or matchups. They might even come with the strong overcut by throwing another higher rated skill level just from experience in this situation to try and hope that they can overcome a lower skill level.
Good strategy.
On top of all that, I don't see Mark Hacking having played a match in this tournament. I'm not sure I see him present, so I think in the 5th match we're definitely going to be seeing Jennifer Freight Train Mullane playing for the leftovers to try and close it out.
Well, as we're speaking, we got the first rack in motion, and we got a small cluster down around the 8. Nothing real bad.
There seems to be no clear out at this point. I mean, once we see 3 or 4 more of these balls get off the table, we're going to see that pattern starting to develop. And when Ralph chooses it, you're going to see him really buckle down, and you'll pretty much be able to predict where that cue ball's movement is supposed to be going, if not where it is going.
Right. And I'm so sure Ralph is the ball guy, and the other guy is the one with the hat. As you were saying, he's at the table, so I figured
Absolutely, yes. I mean, I appreciate the detective skill, Sean, and I think that as a pro player, that's clearly what we needed, buddy.
Hey.
Your advice here isn't identifying. It's in the skill.
It's great, I do my best with what I got.
That's why we love you, buddy. All right, again, as you can see the pattern emerging here, Ralph really needs to play pocket speed, and you can't get frustrated at a shot like that. There's a lot of pull that needs to be played here.
But that could be a good thing, though. I mean, that means he's into the game.
It really could be, but in one of these situations, as Dave has said before and as we've said, and from your experience through matches, you really need to just cool, calm, and collective to run this rack out.
Very true, but I mean, if he can leave that one shot in the past, go back into it, and he's going to get another chance this game, obviously, because how tied up it is.
As we've said, with skill levels 4 and 5, rarely is it that we see a full run-out going on.
True.
But you do see the smarter pattern play as well as the smart defensive shots. So again, I think we have a chess match here with at least another 3 or 4 attempts to run this rack.
Oh, of course.
Ooh, and as you see, trying to get that good position, which you did, you got to make that ball first. And a lot of times, you're either too focused on the first or second step to nail both.
Yep. And as I'm looking, I know we have the 1 ball left, the 5, and I can't tell if there's another solid down here between the stripes.
It looks like the 1, 5, and 8. I mean, this is really a decent little break here for Ralph.
Well, now I know why his emotions came out when he missed the 1, because he could have won that rack if he had the 5 and 8 left. And we did not realize that at the moment.
At all. I do apologize here.
This must bring back some good memories for you, Sean. When you look at a table like this and you discuss strategy, obviously you think of things like a professional pool player, but this must remind yourself of you when you started just learning how to play the game and mapping out runouts. It's very challenging for a relatively amateur pool player.
Now this is tough. He's going to have to come over a ball a little bit. He wanted to bump it out a little bit, but I mean, he's definitely got it here. He's got a clear shot right here. Nice and easy just to pocket this ball, take the lead. And there it is. Now we have an even race with Ralph Yenner up 1, now needing 3 for victory, and Schillings also needing 3 for victory.
And you can already see the difference in the attitude of the teams. Everybody understands, since it's 4-4 in the 4th match, how important this match is. We've seen players make 8 balls during this match, and there's been very little reaction. Where you noticed how even Ralph Yenner understands how big this match is. Just from pocketing that 8 ball, you get the fist pump, the team's clapping.
Well, now you
definitely feel the mood elevating.
Now you look at the higher skilled level player, and the field's now even. So he knows he just needs to play consecutive shots here to bring home the victory for his team.
Right. And as Dave was saying about reminding me of when I was younger, it actually reminds me of playing in the APA with my granddad when I was a young kid. And, at that time, my granddad was my coach. Obviously, I knew a lot. I was 20, 21. I've been through tournaments, but it just reminded me that, if I felt like I was in a bad situation, I always knew I had my granddad there on my team to go talk to him, calm me down, tell me what shot to shoot, give me the confidence I needed in order to get back at the table and try my best to win for my team, that's what you got to do. You got to get points per each match, and as you add those up, you as a team win.
Yes. It's not one of these, this is not one of those games where you have the real big, touchdown passes we've discussed or the grand slam to change it. It's truly a team aspect, seeing that you have to inch your way up step by step to slowly gain ground on your opponent. That's what makes this so exciting with every shot that's taken.
And it's never over until the finish line is set.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to have to excuse myself from the broadcast. We've had a couple more champions crowned, but I'm going to have to get to some paperwork. But thank you very much for having me. I enjoyed my time, especially with you, Sean.
Of course, Dave.
I'll be seeing you guys soon. And to all our viewers out there, if you need any information on joining the APA of South Jersey or Bergen County APA, you can log on to poolplayers.com. Remember, that's Pool Players, POOLPLAYERS.com. And just click on Locate the APA near you, and you'll be able to find a league operator who's more than willing to help you join all the fun that the APA has to offer. And maybe one day soon you'll be playing in a match like this and winning, you and your teammates, a trip to Las Vegas to complete for over $2 million in cash, prizes, and benefits out at the National Team Championships at the Riviera Hotel in Las Vegas, Nevada. So I look forward to seeing you guys soon. Enjoy the rest of the broadcast. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave.
All right, well, now you can see Schillings is really starting to buckle down. He knows that right here, there's nothing anxious. Just make balls here, and we can do some damage. Ooh, and it looks like the nerves are getting the best of him. But as you said, sometimes you got the tough shot, and we just got to get right back in.
Yeah, true. I mean, even though he missed that, he's got his opponent's balls are tied up, and he knew, he had a couple opportunities. Maybe wanted to try to hold for the 5-ball next, which was tricky with the angle he had on the 6. Sometimes nerves comes into play there, or just not the understanding of you got to hit it a little bit harder. Correct. But I'm sure the next time he gets that chance, he will. He'll remember that.
Now, Ralph Yenner did see the finals last year in a 9-ball match. I know I was his former teammate, so he's had this type of pressure before. So it's a situation like this of when he finally gains that composure and remembers exactly what to do here, it's just, textbook all over again. And that's really what he's looking for. If he gets that one-up victory, then you're really going to see the confidence come out that he so avidly has displayed in most of his matches.
So mentally, you got him as a big favorite in this match.
Correct. I would definitely say that Ralph is going to take this match. I don't feel it's a clean sweep in this situation, but I definitely feel he's going to see the better side of this match.
Okay.
Don't forget, this match is being brought to you by Muellers.com, sponsoring Inside Bull.
Very nice. He got a kick shot here, and he actually put that cue ball right back in the middle of the table, which on most leaves is just about the best spot you can be to pick and choose your way to go.
I'm trying to look down in the corner. Looks like we have a solid and a stripe. So
I mean, right now, that 8-ball right there in the pocket next to the stripe, he knows that that's his biggest problem right now, and for him to work his way back to that, it's something he's not prepared to deal with right now. Let's just get these balls off the table and revisit that issue later.
Right. The good thing about that, neither player is going to run out from here out because of the 2 balls tied up at the bottom right and the top left because of the 10. Obviously, you can make the 4 if you're on the side rail because if you're solids.
But it's not always the best strategy because then you're opening yourself up to letting that ball just sit there.
You can leave that till later, maybe have that the ball before the 8. That would be great to do for your strategy being solids at this time.
something else. I mean, these players are playing so much pool this weekend. I mean, you're looking at 5 matches, as little as 5 matches, or as many as 8 matches to get back from the loser side of the bracket. And what they're going through right now, the stress and all the physical wear that matches like this can create on someone. I mean, think about it. This is your next door neighbor playing right now. This is not a disciplined pro. This can really wear down on you. So you're seeing the true grit and dedication of these players today.
Absolutely. I mean, us as a pro myself, the same thing happens to us. I mean, you have to know how to be composed and get through that. Like you're saying, if you play 2 or 3 matches in a row one day, say one of your players is playing the first match normally.
Yes.
The other player needs to know when to just have a little bit of time to relax, wind down, get something to eat, come back, be ready for his match, and just give yourself the opportunity, like I said, the best you can.
Absolutely.
Because if you're at your weakest, now you're giving your opponent the advantage off the get-go.
Absolutely. Now, what do you think here about this 8-ball? I mean, it looks like Jenner has a pretty decent shot at a run out here. That 8-ball, I don't know if it's enough to go right in or if he's going to have to pretty much just wind up with a safe shot here.
Well, the 8-ball's in the middle of the table. His problem's the 2.
Sorry, the 2-ball.
Right.
Yeah.
That's okay. It's a little tough with our view from the camera screen on the laptop. So, but we can see, I'm not sure if he can hit the 2 clean by itself, but if he can, I'm sure we'll find out here in a minute.
I mean, if not, it looks like a shot where you can definitely try for that double kiss to try and just nudge it in the rail. If not for anything else, you get to take that pocket not only for yourself, but away from your opponent, forcing him to have 5 instead of 6.
Of course, because he's got the light blue striped up table, which is the 15 with the side clap balls set. Still in trouble for his opponent. So he might just opt to play that safety later in the game, like you're saying.
Very nice shot here for Jenner as he reevaluates the run out and making sure that this is the pattern set on which he wants to do.
Gentlemen, open the door. Please close the door.
Security check in the background.
It's always good.
Please don't miss the ball again.
Dave was saying earlier in the week, since I'm talking to you now, Dan, how do you feel like the event has went?
I think that it's went great. I mean, this is the 3rd largest pool tournament in the world. We're only smaller than a national event such as another pool league or as the APA national event, which is the #1 in the world. And for staff, and when I say staff, these are players who have dedicated their time to an event as large and as great as this. We're truly grateful to have players that care this much to make sure that something goes off great. And I couldn't have asked more from them. I think that they ensured that this went off without a hitch, and we do what we can every day, but when the camaraderie comes around the sport, not just the brand, that's what we're really looking for here.
Absolutely. I'm just glad to be here and be a part of it, to watch all these teams play and compete for a trip to Vegas. It's just great.
Very glad to have you here. It's one of those things of it's always good to have the amateurs support the pros. It's a rare occurrence to see the pros support the amateurs, and where basically all the pros eventually they all came from. So it's nice to not forget that and to remember the players. It's a great thing that you and Earl Strickland, who was here this weekend, do. It's a great thing.
Absolutely. I'm sure everybody enjoyed the show that Earl put on. He's within the last couple of years, he's been working on his trick shots and everything, and he's an entertainer. He's very easy. You can walk up to him, ask him anything. He's gonna be completely honest with you, tell you how he feels, and it's great.
And let's approach this from the honesty perspective. I mean, a lot of times, mostly anyone ever sees is the fact that Earl plays in these competitive situations, and sometimes you get the rap of an attitude here or a comment there that's really not the best thing, but it has nothing to do with the player when it comes to all out of the side of that competition. Earl's a great guy, and he'll take the time to show an amateur or really any fan and talk to him honestly about how things go and be as open as he can. And I know for one of my players at another one of my events, Earl took about an hour and a half out of his time to stay late and work with them. There was no charge. It was just the fact of one pool player to another, not a pro, not an amateur. And that's really what it's about, to ensure that this sport is going to be played by our kids and to continue on.
Of course.
Earl's pure. He's pure pool, and that's all there is to it. He's a good guy, and I've talked to him one-on-one. He does all those theatrics to bring the sport up and to make a show, because he knows, I mean, some of it's his Tourette's or whatever it is that's wrong with him, but he's trying to be a showman, and that's the best way he knows to bring the sport up. And who else has been more successful in rousing up a crowd than Earl?
Well, yeah, that's true. A lot of Earls, like you say, I like to call it, it's his passion that comes out for the game. You know, even if it's at the pro level or here helping amateurs get better at what they're trying to do. You know, he'll yell at you and be like, you know, that's not the right shot. This is the right shot, and this is why.
Yeah,
you know, which is good.
It's the love of the game, and like you said, with the passion, that's the perfect way to put it behind. Sometimes if you don't get angry and you see a player shoot and he's just kind of hitting balls around, you feel like there's no care, there's the lackadaisicalness of it. I mean, it's one of those things of, I mean, whatever your passion is, be it a favorite car, be it a stereo system, be it anything that you really have, when you see that scratch in the CD or you see the scratch in the paint on that car, and if you don't get frustrated, then it's not really what you care about, and that's what it is. It's the emotion and love that you have for the situation in the game. And it looks like that 2-ball was actually freed up exactly where Yenner needed it.
Looks like it, but can you see the 2 past the stripe? It looks like it's a little close, but from how he's looking, I think he can.
It looks like it. I mean, he's got a couple options here. You can play the left and take the risk of using all that table here. You really can just do a little top and come back shallow with the 8-ball just to see the easy.
Yeah, that's what you do. Come across a little bit.
Oh, and right there, did he get the friendly bump? We can't see yet. We'll be able to tell by his reaction.
I'm looking into this, and it looks like he can, but he's jacked up a little bit by the stripe.
Yeah, he doesn't have to play a circus shot. He's got a.
This is always tough because it's straight in and long, which I was talking about earlier. It's the toughest shot on the pool table.
Oh, very nice play. Ralph shot that with all the confidence in the world that, as I've mentioned, an experienced finalist player can do. He put the marker down, he knows to buckle down, and this is the shot. Let's watch Ralph get relaxed and try and pocket this 8-ball down in the bottom right-hand corner.
This is a shot at this level in the pro level. You just want to stay down on the rail, rest it, roll it, and trust it all the way through. And clipped it a little bit off.
Stood up, he was nervous.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He needed to stay down and just trust the shot. Even at my level, those are very tentative shots, you know, because it looks easy, but it's not. Just because it's straight in.
You have to become machine-like on that ball.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, the bad part about that shot is the fact is when you play a shot like that, you really want to play pocket speed. If he would have played a pocket speed, what he would have wound up doing was forcing his opponent, Roy Schillings, to actually play just with one pocket. That 8-ball could have been a big game changer here, and now Ralph, the safe shots are really limited here. Ralph knows he's probably going to have to bank that backup table.
Yeah, luckily he got back to the table right away with Roy missing, and I think you go with the bank here. You do the same thing. You try to lay it up, but the only thing you can do is leave the cue ball maybe over on top of this ball here on the rail.
Correct. That way, I mean, it's what we call a two-way shot, obviously. It's something of, you really want to make that ball, but when it comes down to it, if you don't, it's not the end of the world because you've left such a tough leave. This is a big shot here.
I think this is one of those ones, you forget about that last shot, and since you had another opportunity, go for it.
You hear his teammate remind him to mark the pocket right here in the APA. What he said was it's not going in. He's actually not attempting to make this shot. He's going to make sure he plays safe. But his teammate did yell out, mark it up, which is a sign of you need to express to your opponent where that 8-ball is truly going to go if you decide to do it and actually make that shot. That way that game-winning shot is not a fluke.
Right. Well, that was really touchy. Obviously, he was trying to leave no window for the stripe on the rail and no window for the ball on the side, which
had to be a perfect speed shot. You have to not only negotiate where that cue ball is going, but where that object ball is going to wind up.
Yeah, I think there, you know, that the bank, go for the win was probably the option.
It's definitely where I would have went. You took at it and be grateful for getting that extra shot to get back to the table to even attempt such a feat.
Right, I mean, what's the odds that you get another one now?
Absolutely. Now, there's two options here. He can actually go for the win here, or as you keep saying, he could really just try to lay this ball up. He's got that blocker ball sitting right there, so it's going to be interesting to see what way he actually does take to get this out here.
Right.
If I was him, I would play it in the top right corner there, come right back down, make sure we keep it nice and easy to keep the cue ball close to those objects balls. You never want to overextend yourself on a table such as this. Oof, and it was just off. I believe Ralph has just enough to slice this in. Again, being grateful to get to the table for the third time at this 8-ball. He needs to capitalize here and really jump out in front.
The 8-ball is closer to the rail than we can see, so he's going to have to get his razor out and slice this one in.
Absolutely. You can either just do the slight top and cut it as thin as possible, maybe try and put a little bit of spin, as I tend to like to do.
Yeah.
It's very important to look at the angle on this ball. He did not do it, but we'll see if he can make it. Nope.
Oh, wow.
He whiffed it.
Just missed it. I mean, his excitement might be getting the best of him here, but as you said, if he had just walked around, we keep mentioning textbook. Look at the angle, know where you need to hit it, and let's make that shot.
Yeah. Nerves are coming in so strong on this, and that's where all your practice. I don't want to hear I don't have any time to practice. You don't have any time because that's your excuse.
Absolutely, it's something a night out with the friends is practice if you look at it the right way. You know what I mean? You make smart shots when you can, so when you need to make them, you've had the experience. It's all about getting that leather tournament skin in.
Well, it's like in the Pro Tour. Who's the first guy? Every time I do a stream, first guy in the room, Shane Van Boning.
That's a good answer.
8 a.m. He's in there for 8 hours straight. Doesn't leave the table just to go to the bathroom.
And what does he do? He wins.
He wins every tournament.
He's a perfect example of what it takes to become a winner.
And
the higher percentage of the time.
That was the game-winning shot right there, it looked like, for Schillings. Not only did he not make the ball, he actually left that tough angle. So when Ralph hits this ball, he's really going to have to pay attention to this cue ball here. Make sure you get the right speed on there.
And it's a back cut where,
I'll tell you what,
it's easy to miss.
The back cut at that too, I think he'll probably make it, but you got to watch. If like Dan was saying, if you hit this too hard, you can scratch cross corner because of the angle. But he was fine.
He's very nice, full confidence when taking it. But again, usually that happens with the 4th or 5th shot at an 8-ball.
All right, thanks everybody for joining us. Remember, Muellers.com is our mainstream sponsor, Muellers.com. Please do send them an email, let them know you appreciate the stream. We also have BurtKinnister.com, DPQs. We got a whole little list here of want to get through before this next rack. With our excellent commentators, Dan and Sean. I'll find it here.
Now this match right here is what put Ralph actually is up now 2-0. So that makes Ralph Yenner having to get 2 more to Roy Schilling's 3. So now not only was it even, he's now actually ahead as a higher skill level. Huge advantage in Ralph's favor here. Again, I didn't predict the shutout, but I still feel that Ralph is playing strong enough to bring this home.
I agree totally. We also have Untapped Energy is one of the main SentencedToLife.com is one of the main tournament sponsors. AllAdayTours.com as well. We talked about that earlier. Focused Apparel, Jacoby Hughes, Joe Young Hughes, who made a special cue for the Greg Black Memorial, which we'll talk about a little bit later. And QPod and Creative Photography.
Thank you, Alvin, for mentioning those. They're a huge success to this event.
Absolutely. Yeah. Awesome to have you here, Sean and Dan. Thank you guys both for your assistance in the commentary booth.
Of course. No problem at all. What I'm going to do here is actually put one of my head referees in to actually comment. This is a gentleman, his name is Anthony Nasta, skill level 5, has been up to a 6 in this tournament through avid skill playing. I'd like to give an extra opinion on exactly what he thinks of the rack and how he'd go about doing it. This is Anthony Nasta joining us here, watching the match live stream to you.
I just want to talk like this about it.
Now, Anthony, I know you've been playing in the APA for a little while. What we have here is a 5 that needs 2 racks to a 4's 3 racks for the shutout.
Okay.
Right here, what would you look at as far as trying to get out here if you were the 4 having to come back? Would you go back to the defensive technique or stick with the standard 1-2-1-2?
I would go back to the defensive technique, try and work my way to get a ball in hand so this way I could run out more balls.
Absolutely. Now that's something that in a tournament situation like that, you really want to do that because instead of looking for the openings, you get to create openings, and that's really what's best. I mean, Sean knows all about that.
Oh yeah, of course. You know, like you both are saying, you know, it comes down to which balls are open at this point. Maybe getting a couple of those off, and then later, you know, picking that certain defensive shot to keep your opponent, you know, off tilt a little bit.
Absolutely, and as you see right now, I mean, the nerves are, it's not these folks making bad shots, it's not that, it's the pressure that these guys are feeling. The last 72 hours, they're putting their heart and soul in this match, and you really want to see the best of it come out right here, and in your game, you need to calm down and make sure it comes out. I mean, Anthony Nasta he's in a final currently with his team shooting, so not only is he refereeing and playing in the event, it's that type of dedication that makes a tournament like this so hard, but yet so successful.
Yes, Dan, it's been a very long ride for me this weekend. a fun tournament. A lot of great shooters.
What do you think being at the third largest pool tournament in the world? This is your first time on a grand stage like this. I mean, I know you've been to the Las Vegas National APA, but I mean, what do you think at the local level for this as far as the players and getting to experience something like this that they never have on such a grand scale?
I think it was a great experience actually so far. The players, they're nothing but nice. Few people that came up to me said thank you very much for your refereeing. Complimented me on my shooting skills. Everyone here has been great. The hospitality from the APA, the players, and everyone else is just one of the best I've seen.
Yeah, that's great to hear. It's win, lose, or draw. I mean, the APA is all about that experience of having fun, and you gotta enjoy yourself. It's all about the love of the game. Ralph here going for the outs with the high balls here.
Looks like he froze himself on the strike.
It looks like he's got a little gap here, but again, I mean, it's very tough to hit that 13 ball anywhere to get any sort of shape. Right here, he wants to put it kind of center pocket. Would you? I mean, sorry, center of the table. What would you do here?
Well, since you're jacked up, the main thing is to focus on making the ball. You know, if the cue ball don't go that far off the rail, that's okay, because you're going to have that ball you're jacked up on, maybe a shot on that, or the other 14 ball up table.
Yeah.
So you just try to roll this in, even though it's tough. Yeah,
and he did. I mean, he did exactly how you said. You know, it's one of those things of now that it's opened, it's exposed. That ball goes in from so many different angles, either all the way up or right in that side pocket. You create opportunities for yourself if this Mr. Roy Schillings does not take advantage of this open table here.
Yeah, that's what you're waiting for. You're waiting for him to make a simple mistake. Hopefully, give yourself an opportunity on one of your stripes, clean you out, and try to take the game. I just like to see how the opponent on the side, he's really focused on his opponent, while he's playing, which is a good thing at my level and at this level, because if you're wandering and looking at another table, the next time you get to the table after your opponent misses, you forget about your plan or where the balls are. You have to re-look at it and then figure it out, so that it takes you out of your focus.
And that's what I was explaining earlier, and I've spoken with Anthony about this. I'm sure he can let you in on it, but it's something of, as Sean was just saying, not only are you looking for the opportunities that you've presented to yourself, but you're looking at the weaknesses in your opponent's game on that same shot that keeps coming up that he just can't seem to capitalize on at this time. So it's not only are you looking for that safe shot now you know the safe of if you get in trouble, where to just put it and hope for the best.
Yeah. If you can leave him a shot that he's 10% to make compared to 90%, you got to do it.
You got it totally in your favor. I appreciated that you kept it at 100% though.
Well, yeah.
All right, Ralph now has to evaluate this out here. It's pretty simple. I mean,
I don't know where the 3-ball landed. You might have to land pretty straight on that stripe to get back down table.
I mean,
you think he was worried about the side pocket there?
Absolutely. You saw him lean into the shot when really you want to keep your hands firm and make sure you just follow through on that stroke. I try to tell everyone, if you got to stay flat and keep that stick poised until that ball drops, to make sure you're putting the right English and just following through on that shot. Oof, and again, nerves coming out in the finals match, folks. This isn't as easy as it looks. I know everyone enjoys a little pull now and again, but when you have 7 other people depending on you, this is really a make-or-break situation, not for you, but some of the best friends you have in the world.
Yeah, the match is very tight. We're tied at 4-4, I believe, right?
Yeah, it's 4-4 right now, and again, if Yenner takes it, that's going to make it a 7-4 gap, really ensuring them that their opponent really only needs one. If Freight Train Mullane, as we mentioned, if she has to come up, that only forces her to make one to totally take the match.
Of course. Well, he landed here on this stripe, 13 to the side, but does he have an angle to follow? It naturally takes him around the table, possibly back down to the 15 ball, the last stripe on the table. And Bob's looking at it. They just called a timeout.
That's where you get your higher skilled level player to come up there, and really, once again, you don't have to be giving him advice. You're kind of just giving him the courage to say, yeah, let's do the right thing and send that cue ball around the table. Have confidence and get it done the right way.
Yeah, his confidence for sure.
Yeah.
Smooth him out, calm him down.
I mean, obviously the easy shot here is for him to lay it right in the side and try and lay up, but that leaves so much distance. If he really could just put a little bit of top on it and
gotta come
around, you really want to make sure that way your 8-ball shot is just that much better.
He didn't hit it hard enough, it looks like.
Oh, and he just got out past the 8-ball. But again, look at all the table that he's going to have to use to make sure he gets on this 8-ball, which again goes in any pocket. But you really never know with that 4 helper ball sitting up there. You could always catch that bad,
You got to play this bank right. I like playing the bank. Makes the pocket that much bigger. And hit a full
square in the face, which puts that ball really in a difficult position. He's going to have to hope for a big opening from Roy Schillings here.
True. Now, do you play? You were just talking about the defensive mind of this game. You can shoot the 3, but since it's so deep in the hole, it's hard to get. I was about to say, could you hit the 5, leave him down here, try to get ball in hand?
Absolutely. I mean, it's something where you really got to play a speed shot here. It is tough, but what you want to do is that 3 as well as the 4, taking pockets away, limiting choices, and that's really what good defense is all about. Yeah. It doesn't have to be the perfect where he doesn't see it, but if you remove those options, as you said, and give him a 90-10 difference, that's what you're looking for.
And that's what he did here. I don't see, even if I was at the table, this stripe, it's almost impossible to make. Because he can't hit it completely full, so I don't think the bank's on down past the 8. And anything else, I mean, you can't really play a safety. He's got the 3-ball hanging, the 4's near the hole, the 5's around the middle of the table. So he's got a huge advantage now with that good safety play he just chose.
Yeah, I mean, what he's doing here is he's forcing Ralph to actually just make the contact. You want to make the good hit here and try and hope that you don't put that cue ball in too bad of a spot. Now all he really did here was move his high ball from one side to the other. It's good that he got the hit, but again, it's a little bit better of a spot. But as long as he keeps it up table, again, you can either make a ball or play that safe shot again.
Yeah, you're supposed to. I like playing the 5-3 combo here. Follow up, you'll have the 5 if it don't go, or the 1 ball on the side.
Absolutely.
Not sure if he sees that, but...
Me personally, I like the 1 all the way up, or even if you sit behind it, just for the fact of you're in so much of a better 2-way position. You can make the ball, leave it, and then that 5 is the perfect setup to come back for that 8-ball.
Very true. He went ahead and shot the 3, which is a good option. He's got the 1 on the side now.
And now it looks like a 1-4-5-8 run out coming.
Yep. He's got a good angle here. He can just take the angle, either come down 1 rail or just follow with inside English 2 rails. You can have the 5 ball in the bottom right corner.
I mean, is he going to use the rail here to come down? That looks like the easiest thing to do right now.
Right, he just chose to come down with the natural.
Well, you don't want to get too close on that ball, but you want to stay close to your
Yeah,
boat.
you see how it came to the right a little bit because of the angle. If he followed 2 rails, he would have been coming towards the 5. Might have been left him a simpler shot, but he looks like he's okay. This is tricky.
You can see the nerves getting to his opponent, Ralph Yenner, there. He knows that he is playing Roy Schillings here, and Roy can make some shots. I mean, it's something obviously he's displayed that in this last rack, getting a few outs. It's good to see that he's disciplined and buckling down, so he knows this is a make-or-break shot right here.
Yeah, with the 8 near the side. Ooh, he went for the bank.
I definitely would not have. Oh, no, is this going to be? No, it's not. And he lucked out with the leave here. I believe he's going to be able to make a good hit here, but it's going to be tough with that 5 ball in the middle of the table. Roy Schillings look like to have a good shot here unless Ralph can really pull something out.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is a tough cut, similar to that 8 ball that he missed a few racks ago.
Absolutely. It's almost deja vu.
I'm sure this is in the back of his mind.
Hey, doing there? Sean, I just wanted to come by and let you know that we had our first winner tonight.
Okay.
And I believe that's your team's name, actually. I'm sorry. You're playing on, I see that playing on two teams. Which one of your teams I haven't picked up on, am I? Which one? Last Dragons? Last Dragons from Bergen County, New Jersey. Our first winner of the 2014 LTCs in Atlantic City.
Congratulations, guys. Awesome. I'll hold down the fort while you guys take care of that.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I'll be back in a little bit.
Thank you, Anthony. As they were congratulating one of their teams, we had, hold on 1 minute, please. Okay. As I was talking, I've just been informed that Ralph had won the last game, and if this team, the leftovers, gets this game, they will be up 7-4, and I believe that will put them in line to win the match. Because of the match rules, they will be up 3 matches to 2, and the other team, the Terrorizers, would only be able to tie the match. So this is a huge game here coming up. But if not, if Roy Shillings could have an opportunity to get this and tighten it up, because we're tied at 4-4 right now, we could have a barn burner going together as we had the last few matches, which went hill-hill. They break the balls off. We're going to have a little safety battle here for a while.
Attention here, we got 10 more minutes till we're picking a number for the 50-50.
We'll play a stripe, and we try to play it all the way up in the corner, which I believe he tried, but he nipped the 12 on the way in. We got Roy's trying to look to see if the 4 ball goes past the 8. Can't really tell if it does. Or there might be another solid in there near the 8 ball also. And there was. It was the 6 ball. He made it in the side, but the cue ball unfortunately scratched in the corner. That's going to give Ralph ball in hand. He'll be able to position the cue ball anywhere on the table since it's after the break. It's giving himself a chance to make the 12 ball past the 7 in the corner. Might have to bump the 7 on the way in if he chooses to do this. Well, he left himself jacked up over top of the 1 ball now. Is that what he's going to do? Well, I'm not sure exactly what he's going to do. It's a little tricky here.
You're flying solo here.
Yeah, and a couple of guys had to go present trophies to our league winners.
Finish it up rock solid.
All right.
Get some, the Wild Boy coming at you from the Muellers.com Inside Pool and NYC Grind stream, baby, live.
Live, baby. Well, Roy's back at the table, and he needs this win. I've just been informed by Bob Mullane, who's a team member who played a little while ago from the leftovers. If Ralph wins this game, they would be up by 3 points. With 1 match left, basically they would win because the only team could do is tie, and they would be up 3 matches to 2.
So it's over.
If Ralph wins this game here. If not, we still got some playing to do.
Okay. Well, you know what a wise man once told me, root for the guy that's winning.
Not true. Or we could just root for the guy that's at the table at the time. Oh no, cue ball.
Look at this.
Scratching again. That's 2 in the same rack.
Okay, so is there a 3-foul rule in effect on this? Or
I don't believe so.
No. Yeah, they can send the cue ball. And once, the thing is that you learn that once you start seeing yourself throwing the cue ball all over the table, you're hitting the balls way too hard. You can go to BurtKinnister.com, check out his videos. He'll teach you all about it if you're an amateur player, one of the sponsors of this event, Burt Kinnister videos, BurtKinnister.com.
Absolutely, that's a good point. I mean, you got to be able to find knowledge somewhere, and I truly recommend that kind of stuff.
He's a good guy, and yeah, if you're sending the cue ball flying all over the table, scratching everywhere, you're hitting them too hard, you're too excited, you need some water, fresh air, a little break.
Calm down, get yourself an understanding of the shot, and just mainly change your stroke a little bit. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah. Well, you would know. Get some. What's your ranking right now in the U.S.?
Ranked number 5 American right now, which I'm
nice.
Very grateful and proud to be at. You know, I've worked really hard to get there. You know, I enjoy the game, and you know, I'd just like to thank you guys, everybody out there who supports me.
Thank you.
And I'll do my best to keep it running, and I just enjoy being out here, being a part of this really right now at this time of my life. You know, I don't have a tournament this weekend. It's really cool to just see how big the pool world really is.
This is an amazing event. I think it was a tremendous success. First time this has ever been done, and it was really, really cool event. It had a really cool vibe to it.
Right.
The War at the Shore.
Yeah, I'm not sure who came up with that, but I like it.
Yeah, I like it too. The War at the Shore. Here beachside.
Yeah, beachside. I'll tell you what, I had a great view from my room, and today I wake up.
We have the same room.
True.
We're roommates.
Me and Alvin.
Yeah.
I woke up today. I don't know if you saw. I know you got up early to come down here and get involved in this, but they had speedboat racing out front.
Oh, nice.
Doing laps, and it was awesome. Just look out there.
I never get to see anything fun.
Really?
No, I'm always locked in.
I know.
With my head stuck right in the side of the computer, molded to it like Terminator.
Well, I mean, even though you're out here and you're limiting your time to get the fun, you do the best job, Alvin. I mean, you get down here, you make sure you're on time. I mean, that's something that you need in the industry. Because if we didn't have somebody like you, we couldn't have this stream. We wouldn't have this commentating.
I refuse to do half-ass work. Excuse my French.
Absolutely.
I won't do it. So, glad that
just keep
you
it up. We appreciate it. Always.
You too. I like making guys like you shine, and you know, with my art skills and your art skills, we make a nice production.
Right.
So, and hopefully these guys can figure out how to make a ball.
Yeah, they are struggling a little bit here in this game. I mean, it's
I can understand it.
Tricky.
I've been there.
But like all of us have been saying, but at this point the pressure is getting real tense and precise because they're that close to the finish line.
Yeah, and they're missing balls all over the place, so that's getting in their head a little bit too. So we just need somebody to get a couple good shots off, smooth out.
It's a good shot there by Ralph.
Yeah.
Came up, bumped the stripe a little bit. I'm not sure if he can make it past the foul.
We're going to find out right now.
Off the rail. Probably going to go off.
He's going to be able to. I think he's going to be able to do it. Nice. Okay, did he get a shape? He sure did. So if he wins, it's over.
I believe so. Bob Mullane from the team.
We'll see, though.
Probably the captain. He's obviously the best player, the 7th-ranked player. He says if they win this game, they would win this match 3-0. Oh, wow.
Man, this guy.
And he had it too. 8 balls on the opposite side.
Yeah, APA players, really, if you're going to go this far, pay all this money for the hotel rooms, please train your game before you come here.
Yeah.
Get tuned in. I don't care what you got to do. You got to put your kids at the babysitter or whatever, take a couple hours a night, a week before you come here and just hit balls. No matter how bad your back hurts, no matter how boring it is, do it. You will be thankful when it comes down to you're in the finals on the TV table and you're rocking it out, making every ball.
I'll tell you what, I believe Roy, his name is, he had a chance here. He needed to go up table and get the 5 ball first.
Yes.
And now he's got a tough shot.
Yep, the patterns.
And there it is.
He's going to leave him right in the hole.
There it is.
That's the farm. We'll see if he can just drop just a touch of bottom on this ball so it stops right where it's at, and he's hanging out of the hole a little bit. He can get some English on the cue.
Keep the cue ball off the rail.
Yep, and keep it off the rail. Now, the way he's been hitting them so hard, I wouldn't be surprised to see this cue ball move up table and down. He may want to... I adjust my game. If I know I'm playing hard and fast, I just go ahead and move the cue ball because I know I'm going to hit him hard anyway.
True. He went ahead and rolled it. Now he's on the rail.
Yep, see, I don't like that.
This is not easy.
That's why I like that little pop bottom shot, roll shot. Okay, so he's got a cue off the rail. He's going to be using top English. This is such a perfect, you got to go follow through and just roll this ball in. Don't even hit this ball. You got to roll it.
Right. About medium.
Yep. Nice and easy.
Missed it. See?
Can't make this ball.
Yeah, you got to shoot the 5 now from here.
Yes.
The angle will bring you back down to the 4. You might need a touch of inside. And then if you land on the 4, the game is there.
Yep, it's within his grasp now. This is going to be the shot he's thinking about. If he misses this ball, this is going to be the shot he's thinking about.
He tried to play safe, and it's no good.
See, I don't like that. All right.
Gave the match away.
I think that I hope that this guy can make this ball. And you guys want to get some lessons from Sean Wilkie. He's in Havre de Grace, Maryland.
There it is.
I think that's it.
See if I don't know if they're all celebrating the complete match, but let's see.
It's over?
Good.
It's over.
They're saying that they won it.
How are you feeling, team captain?
This is actually after like 15 years in the APA. This is the first time I've ever made it with a team.
Oh, that's awesome.
Because I'm rated so high, I always bring lower players in and help them build, and then split the team. So, I'm always building teams. This is the first time. It's all family. My wife, my brother, friends of the family. So it's a real good feeling.
Congratulations, Bob. We really
awesome. Good job, team. All right, and thanks a lot to Sean Wilkie for joining me. Get some. And if people do want to find lessons from you, they can get a hold of you on Facebook.
I would say Facebook for now. I've actually had a couple people, half a dozen people ask me for lessons. I'm traveling a lot, but if I can get you guys in my schedule, if you're near me, obviously you say I live in Havre de Grace, Maryland. It's about 30 minutes north of Baltimore. So find me on Facebook, send me a message. I'm very easy and reliable to talk to.
Yes.
And I'll see what I can do for you. I don't mind helping out.
SHAUN.
Yep, WILKIE.
Yeah, look him up on Facebook. Get some lessons so you're not the guy that just missed 50 balls on the stream and lost it for his team. Okay.
All right, well, we appreciate all you guys' support out there on the stream.
All right.
We'll see you next time.
All right, thanks a lot, Sean. You did awesome, buddy. Thanks. All right, people, you just got it. The Muellers.com Inside Pool Stream with NYC Grind is over. We did it. We did it. The war at the shore. Sean, you hung in strong, did the whole commentary. Excellent, everyone. And for Inside Pool, Muellers.com, PlayPool.com, NYC Grind, Play Their Cues, DPQs, Q-Pods, SentencedToLife.com, Holiday Tours, and the Bergen County and South Jersey APA. I'm Alvin with Inside Pool. It's been an honor to be here with you. Good night and good luck.
So we bring out